Hello everyone. Welcome to the session. I hope you guys are well. Um, we were talking about culture, ethics, corporate social responsibility, sustainability. In our last session today, we are going to touch upon a couple of things which are again linked with culture. So, going to start by looking at cross cultural negotiation and decision making. One of the friends in the last session, they mentioned that decision making is many times impacted, influenced by culture. Yeah, cultural variables many times impact, affect decision making. Yeah, and so does in also in negotiation. Yes, so we're going to look at that. Um, there are some clips you should watch in your own time. So, for example, power of words. Many times it is not like you can it is you can say what you want to say. Nothing is wrong in that, but selection of words sometimes it can create some problems. So um, you must have seen some people in life whose selection of words is very nice, and within using that they say whatever they have to say, um, in a polite way, in a nice way. You can bring across your sentiment. Don't have to be angry and those type of things. But that again, tone of voice. What is the tone of voice? uh, these things matter. But then different cultures, one, you might find that one tone is harsh, or selection of words is harsh, but in that culture maybe that is fine. Yeah. So these are some things which you would want to reflect on. Uh, so negotiation, for example, definitely spend some time in trying to understand what are some of the techniques good negotiators use. I have selected lovely talks for you, 3 4 talks, which they are short. So in your own time you should watch them and reflect on them. I gave you my own personal experience of being a part, not a part, just a silent observer sitting in a negotiation. So I gave you that example in the previous sessions, and how they were not necessarily talking about the nitty gritties of the business deal, but they were trying to establish a repo, a link, a connection. Um Another friend in one of the suggestions, they mentioned that in the discussions, they mentioned that, if you guys remember, um, they said that we want to do business with people we trust, uh, we are okay with. That is also part of doing business. Or you can think about any interaction in life. you know uh, that likability, trust factor, all those type of things, I feel are important. But you can have your own point of view in that. I have no problem. So look at these ones: a walk from no to yes. Yeah, a walk from no to yes. Uh, what are some of the things you can do, to bring someone from saying something that they are saying no, and bringing them to yes? This is linked with the psychology of influence. How to influence people, not with power, but maybe with other things, by choice of words, by understanding the psychodynamics of personality, those type of things. So because international trade, unless the time comes, as again, one of our colleagues mentioned that, and let me repeat it. They said that 20 years ago what was sci-fi, now that is part of our life. So if that happens, that nowadays they are talking about robotics, artificial intelligence. One friend mentioned big data in one of the discussions, those type of things. So if technology reaches to that level where human beings are not really, that much of a part of the game, they still will be. But what I'm trying to say, if the number of human beings in the active involvement of trading and international business goes down, then maybe, you might not want to think about psychology of human. But for now and coming years, um, I think that you should really spend time on understanding different human beings and that type of thing. I think it is very valuable, not just for, international trade or international business, or even business per se, or generally in life. I think that can help you. So I think that, these if you listen to these videos which I have selected, you would be better off than um, what how we generally have been discussing this topic, having our discussions in the earlier sessions. Negotiation skills, top 10 tips. This guy is very experienced, lot of knowledge. So he's and a short clip, 10 tips. Just quickly scan through that and see, what are the things you have. If you don't have, and one at a time, you don't have to get all 10 tips uh, in one time. We take time to develop ourselves, and all these things take time. So I'll select some of the ones and see. This is a scene from a movie. I liked this very much. I show it in when I'm in the face-to-face interaction, but in this online medium, I don't want to show it, and because I want to have personal interaction more in this format. But all these three clips, please spend time and see what is what, and reflect on your own negotiations. What is a negotiation? Negotiation is, just a conversation with someone where you are trying to bring them on your side, that type of thing. So it does not has to do with business. Generally in life, with friends, with family, with colleagues, with fellow classmates, anything, that all of that is negotiation. You are honing your skills now, and the way your personality will develop over a period of time, then you will take those things with you in business environment, and so on. So uh, see, what are your techniques when you want to, win someone's heart or, mind, and bring them on your side. What do you do? What others do with you? How do they get a yes from you? uh, is it a smile which melts your heart, or is it some praise which melts your heart, or is it what it is? Different people, differently react to this. So look into this from your own experiences, like what has been happening in your life, uh, and so on. What I would say, that business related negotiations, they really require a lot of people to be involved if you are going to sit in a negotiation, especially in international trade, because different things are going to come into this, different laws of different countries. So different marketing styles, different financing strategies, those are going to come. So it is not a one man show at all in any way. This is not something which, especially in international trade, uh, I would say, don't go alone in this if you have to do this. Bring a team, expert in different fields, and you have a broader knowledge of negotiation, just like, I'm sharing broader knowledge of negotiation. But then when I am entering in some international business, international interaction, something like that, then I have to have some experts who know and who have experience and who have done that thing in the past. That would really help. And but in the first instances, if there is some, this type of international cultural exchange or something, I would say always give a benefit of doubt. When someone new coming into the culture, or you going into a new culture, always, don't finalize your opinion so quickly. Sometimes we rush into that, because again, I'm repeating from earlier discussions, that culture is something that Culture is something that it is because you are used to it, and for you it is normal. So for you it is fine. But for someone from outside, they really don't know that that is not their way of interacting. Have in the past, that is not their style, has been like. So yeah, give benefit of doubt, if possible. But then dilemma is that international trade is a little bit ruthless, because you are dealing with the international markets. You are making something, people from all over the world are making something. So if you get into a failure mode, then generally speaking, customer is not very customer is paying, they are putting in their money, so they want best thing from that money. That is basically it, the way I understand. Unless the brand has developed some emotional connection with them, yeah, then things can be different. So for example, you must have seen, like, for example, one friend mentioned, I think, McDonald or KFC in one of the sessions, and they said that in certain countries, when they are entering, they have to be mindful of not using pork, because the Muslims are like, she gave that example, if you remember. So uh, I lost my train of thought. I was trying to make a point. Anyways, I think we are good with this. Yeah. So Decian. Oh yes, I was saying that connection, building connection. So that connection in the early days, people companies try to do that. So for example, think about McDonald's, KFC, these type of things. Have you seen that when they are selling their meals, they sometimes have these promotions where they are adding a free, complimentary, without any charge. They are giving some toys. They are putting in some toys. So they are attracting the children. So the young ones, when they are at home, and the family wants to go out, so a child would say, oh, let's go to that company, whatever it is, McDonald's, KFC, or any other business you can think about, where they are attracting these type of they are doing these type of things. So when they will go to that place and order the meal, the child is least interested in the meal. They just take the toy, and they start playing with that. Yeah. But parents or elders, or whoever is the guardian, brothers, sisters, elders, they have to go there, because the child is saying, oh, I want to go there, but essentially they are looking for that toy. So growing up, if you are getting interesting toys from the company, or free feel, everyone across cultures, people generally like things which they get in a complimentary way. So businesses try to make up by doing that. Something happened, you go to a restaurant, if it is a nice uh, restaurant, uh, uh, and the management is also uh, good, then if something happens and you make some complaint or something, they would say, okay, no problem, we are sorry, here it is, we'll give you this discount, or we will not charge for this. Or so what are these are playing with the psychology in the negotiation phase. So they are negotiating with them to come again. Yeah. So for the toy, what is that? Come again. You want more toys? Come again. If something happens in the restaurant, we will take care of you, no problem. We will give you discount or whatever. uh, uh, these things, and these are across cultures. I have seen this in my travels and my conversations with other people. So I hope you can relate with these type of things. Decision making now. Yeah, decision making is very interesting aspect of very important aspect of international trade. Decision making. Um over here, let me bring you in the discussion. Please uh, listen to the question very carefully, and then you are going to give not just the mistake, but try to give some example from your own experience which you have observed. So it's not, we are not talking about a theory. We are talking about some practical hands-on experience specifically for this question. So I want to just ask you that what has been your observation when you are working for someone, your manager, your leader, or you observed others who are managing other people. Generally speaking, what type of mistakes um, they they make. Generally, people who are leading, what type of mistakes they make. Any type of leadership role. You might be leading your group activity in school. You might be leading your friends in some situation. You might be leading some, you might be leading some little assignment and at work. It does not has to be something big or small. We are just, the idea is that what are the mistakes you have observed that people make. And the fundamental point why I want to discuss it is that so from all of our experience we can have a general understanding that what are the mistakes these leaders are making, so that when we are in any type of leadership role, we are a little bit careful about that. So that is a general idea over here. So yes, please go ahead. Yes, please.
I think the biggest mistake a leader can make is not to know the people who are working for them and not knowing how to motivate them, treat them right, because there are people who are more intrinsic motivated and extrinsic motivated. And I once had a leader who did not do this mistake, but who was pretty good in this. And whatever he wanted from someone, she did it in the way she knew she would get it from the person, and she knew her employees very well. So she always respected us with how she dealt with us. That was pretty good.
Thanks for this, Lee. So please reflect on this. Lee is saying that not knowing people. Please take a moment to reflect on this, not knowing people. And please be mindful that we don't want to repeat the things. When you come, you should think of something else, so we can build on the conversation. So our friend is saying not knowing people, yeah. But then think about it, how much effort one has to put in really knowing people, the circumstances which people are in, all those type of things. So for example, in this environment, in some way, we can say that I am leading you, but you are equally leading me. Yeah, so it's just like this. I pose a question as a leader. Now you are giving a response to that as a leader. You are not leading just my discussion, you are leading the discussion of whole like 60 people. So but do we know each other? Like even you guys, how good you guys know each other? You have been in the cohort. How you guys know each other? If you have to lead this cohort, do you know people personally, and how much time it will take, how much energy it will take to really know people? But the point is very important, and this is one of the mistakes which are made across the globe, because the tight requirements of the business, one thing after another. Life is very busy. People's job is very demanding, and they have their own responsibilities in general life. So in that aspect, and especially in the aspect of international trade, think about this, like there are so many things involved in international trade. So and then you have to know the people, yeah, and well, yeah. So again, it is linked with like negotiation, understanding psychology of influence, those type of things. So a follow-up question on this can be, that you know how to lead people when you don't know them. Yeah, take a moment to think about this, how to lead people when you don't know them. You don't know them personally, but you are in that. Yeah. So that you are going to think in your own time. I'm going to give you some pointers. So for example, that is why building trust, having a trustworthy personality, having a likable personality, these type of things really help in those situations when you really don't know people, or you are starting out. But very good point. Not knowing people is a challenge. And second pointer is even more, even more interesting. Motivation. How to motivate people once, because leadership, for example, the way I look at it, anyone who is a leader, I personally, and you can have your own opinion, I'm sharing my thoughts, that if you are a leader, your fundamental responsibility, what is your fundamental responsibility? Fundamental responsibility is to motivate people. Motivate people. They are so motivated that they do their job. They are so motivated that any challenge comes, before you know, they have solved it. Any obstacle come, anything, they have to work after hours, they just do it. They have to come morning, they just do it. They are just motivated, passionate about the job. So for that, that is linked with culture. How you are going to build that culture where people who are working for you feel ownership? Yeah, ownership. Do you feel ownership on me? Yeah, I'm leading. Do you feel that connection, that I have ownership? Or do I feel ownership on you, that I can I can I can speak my mind with you, and although there are cultural differences, you will understand uh, uh, the fundamental point I want to make. Yeah, and those type of things. Yeah. So yes, definitely, I trust you guys. Yeah, but now you are individually, you would have to think. I So that is why I'm communicating like this. I've not seen you, but I'm communicating like this because that trust factor I feel. Yeah. So if that thing was there, then things are challenging. This different. Oh, should I should not say that, or if I say that, what is that? And yeah. So if you are thinking that, if I'm thinking all the time those things, then how I will be really go deep into the conversation with you. Yeah. So same thing with the job. If you want to really make your business successful in the international market, where there is so much competition, you really have to go deep in this. You want those type of workers who are again not working only for money. Money is important, but not only for money. Yeah. So, and you feel it. You can't escape it. If someone is doing their job for money, or there is, of course, you are going to get the financial reward. People are going to pay you, as we were discussing in, I think, globalization and earlier sessions. Yeah. Think about that. So, but again, we are sticking back to our fundamental question. So the question again is what type of mistakes leaders make? Give some concrete examples. Do not repeat the things. Try to just build on it, and let's see how we want to do this quickly, please. Yes, please go ahead.
All right, so I wanted to add the aspect of communication. So, for example, during my internship, my supervisor, we didn't have the chance to talk about my tasks. So there were some times when I was like overwhelmed with all of my duties, and at the next day, I didn't have anything to do at all. So I think that communication is key when you think of what tasks need to be assigned, what needs to be accomplished. And yeah, especially during my internship, this was a really big difficulty. And yeah, I think as a leader, you should definitely improve that, because communication is so easy. You just need to ask your coworkers, well, what is their capacity? Are they free or are they overloaded? And then you can just like improve your effectiveness.
Beautiful point, Feli. Thanks for that. So please run a Google search on documentation, different types of documentation. So for example, run a Google search on this SOPs. a standard operating procedures manual, SOPs. Yeah. So wherever you are working, just ask them around. Can I see the SOP? If they have any type of documentation, uh, even if you are not in that type of work, just run a Google search on this. SOP, Standard Operating Procedures Manual, and run a search in the industry which you like. So if you like hotel and tourism industry, you put that SOP for that. If you like banking, you do that. Whatever job you, whatever area of interest is there. Yes. And then just quickly scan through them. 5 minute thing this is not, and look how they have made them. Yes. And in your workplace, if SOP documentation, those type of things are missing, take an initiative. After hours, do that type of thing. It is not hard. You have your own job, whatever job you have. If you want to create an operation manual for your own job, how hard it is? It is not hard at all. You know your job, all of it. Yeah. So you just over a period of time, just jot it down, like step 1, step 2, step 3. If this thing happens in step 3, do this. If this thing happens, do this. Report this. This is the form. Fill this. Do this. That type of thing. Yeah. So take those type of initiatives. Yeah. So this is extremely important point. Documentation. International business. You want to go out in the market. First, this is the first step. All documentation should be there. If it is the case where you lack documentation, maybe everything is in the mind of the people who are working, but they have not documented it. Or even if documentation is there, it is not done properly. Or even if it was done, so it was done many years ago. Now because of automation, technology, those type of things, now new documentation is maybe required. Yes. So think about these things. Extremely important point. Yes, please go ahead.
So to add on, you Marcel, can you hear me properly?
Please go ahead, Lisa.
Okay. So to add on to the point what Felicitas made about communication is key. My current boss at my job, he also has major communication problems, and major problems are that he just sends a task to like all of the employees we have, and he just says, "Yeah, do it," but then nobody knows exactly who has to do it, and then the task most of the time is just being laying around because nobody does it. So yeah, it's really important that the leader addresses someone personally, that he or she has to do that certain kind of task, and not like everybody and ask just do it, but nobody knows who exactly.
Oh yes, Lisa, very good. Lisa, please include, please say the thing about iceberg and Taiwan and number 4. Please go ahead.
You mean with the culture? I said to you, yeah. So just to last time's session, I just wanted to add that you can see culture as an iceberg, because some parts are just observable and some parts are not, like beliefs and values, what we mentioned. But food, for example, you can easily observe that. So I just compared that to iceberg, but we had that in a previous lecture once, so that's why I mentioned that.
Please also go ahead with the Taiwan number 4 lift.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I was when I was in Taiwan once. We were in the elevator, and then I recognized that they didn't have the number 4 on it. So I was asking, yeah, like, why don't you have number 4, which is like normal here, of course. And then they said, yeah, that this number is like a misfortune for them, or yeah, brings bad luck, so they don't include number 4. So yeah, I wanted to mention that it's just important, if you start off a business with products or whatever, then you have to keep that in mind, that you don't, I don't know, develop packaging which includes 4 products or something, because they would never buy that.
Amazing, amazing, guys. Just reflect on this. You do all these type of things, everything, and you are prepared for the international market. You launch your product. You have a biscuit cookies, and in one uh, packet you put in four biscuits, and now no one is buying it because they associate four with death. Yeah. Look at this, how challenging it can be. Thanks. Please go ahead. Next one.
Yes, so I just wanted to add that it's very important that the relationship with your leader is good, but it shouldn't be too private because then it's hard to make decisions and not to hurt the feelings maybe of your leader, or the leader can hurt the feelings then of the employee if he, for example, make a decision that this employee won't take the task, or if he isn't allowed to take the task, and then the private relationship is also like hurted. So I think it's very important that the relationship is not too private between both. But of course, you have to like each other, but it should be like a working atmosphere as well.
Very nice, guys. Please keep on going. Very nice one.
I think that another problem is, or another mistake leaders can do, is not to listen to their employees. So maybe to their concerns or to the ideas they maybe have in their department.
Very nice.
I think another mistake that can be made is that a leader does not give feedback to his employees, because I think feedback is really important, because you can only improve if you know what you did wrong, or if the leader expected something different, or yes. So I think feedback is really important if you're a leader.
Yes, yes, yes.
Can I move on?
Yeah, please continue, guys. Keep on going. Yes,
So,
keep on.
yeah, I think what Annalena said, they don't give feedback and they don't take the time for you, and they're really hands off of the project or the task you need to do. So at the end, you don't meet the expectations you wanted to have. So you have to rework the task and don't be effective. So yeah, if they are too hands off the project, this is a major problem which I experienced as well in my internship.
Okay. Yes, yes, very important. Yes.
Another point I would like to mention is, which leaders sometimes lack, is to set a vision for their teammates or colleagues, so that they will also automatically get motivated once a leader sets a vision and targets for them. And once they see where the organization or the project is heading to, they can themselves be motivated to work more towards it.
Yes, very nice.
Another thing I want to say is some leaders make mistake by not by trying to do everything themselves. So they believe that they are the only one capable to do the tasks, and they don't give uh, uh, tasks to other employees. So because they don't believe in them and they think they are the only one who can do it, and I think it's not proper to do that. So,
Yeah, so I think another mistake that leaders can make is to micromanage your people. So if you always tell them what to do and what not to do, I don't think you can expect any, or just very few, creativity and innovativeness. And I just don't think it helps your team to
Oh,
be,
yes.
you
Yes.
know, a team and to bring in their
Yes.
own ideas.
Very nice point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there are two mistakes that come to my mind. The first one is that some leaders will live for the moment. For example, Nokia, their management lived for the moment and they found themselves out of the market despite being very successful. And the other one is the leaders who don't lead by example. So if your leader or boss would leave early, you wouldn't feel the urge to stay late and work and deliver. But if he leads by example and showing you that he's dedicated to deliver or to continue the job, then you wouldn't feel comfortable leaving your job or not doing it. And I think leading by example is quite inspiring for many leaders.
Very interesting. And if we can give examples like our friend gave about Nokia, if you remember that Nokia used to be a giant in the industry, but things happen. Just read on the history of Nokia. They just could not manage because they were not keeping up with the time. Same things happen with other big companies like Kodak. They were very big at one time, but then things happened because they were not managing well with the changing times. They're only living in the moment just for now. They don't have a foresight, as another friend mentioned about vision. Another friend just mentioned about managing. That is again, yeah, some jobs, yes, you have to micromanage, but you also have to give liberty to people when they are working. That is also important, because think about this, if uh, anyone who is uh, anyone who is worth their salt and they know their material, how much they are going to listen to you if they have that type of knowledge and they have expertise and whatever. Because think
Um,
about it, a person who is knowledgeable in the field, they have many options. The world is open for them because they are talented, they know their thing, so many doors open. If one door closed for them, many others will open for them. So anyone who is smart, anyone who is well, only person who is who does not maybe have a lot of I don't know
um,
what word to use here, but uh, I hope you are getting the sentiment. People who want security in job, yeah, because they somehow they would say that, oh, if I lose this job, what would happen? That type of mentality. For very talented, smart people, they have thing happen. They start their own thing. All these big shots, like Mark Zuckerberg, Honorable Mark Zuckerberg, Honorable Steve Jobs, Honorable Jack Ma, Honorable the Tesla guy. All of these, look at their life history. What happened? They were doing. They had their own point of view at work. Things happen. Their boss said, no, don't do it like this. They said, all right, I'm going to start my own thing. Yeah. But then again, be mindful that these type of people are very few. It's not that everyone cannot be that like that. One friend mentioned listening listening yeah, listening. This cannot be overemphasized in life. Listening. So think about this as you have raised your hand and you are ready to give your point of view. In this moment, are you thinking about what you have to say and how you will say this, or when someone else is speaking, you are really listening to them, really listening, really listening, and understanding what is the point of view they are. So generally speaking, in life, generally speaking, many of the people are not listening because the mind is, they are either thinking of something which has happened in the past, or they are thinking of something in the future. That I'm repeating that point because that point is very very important, very important. Living in the moment. Uh, so see, look at this contradiction. So on one hand, you live in the moment so you can perform well. On the other hand, don't only live for the moment. Yeah, this is quite a nice thing to reflect on. So listening and feedback, feedback, very good.
can
Leading
I
by example. uh, Very nice points. Yes guys, please go ahead and make it
can
fast.
I just comment on what on a couple of things? Earlier, my colleagues talked about creativity for employees. To me, an effective leader has to have three steps in order to see the outcome that he wants. First of all, it's belief, then assessment, and then result. Belief is that believing in your employees, believing in your training program that you train your employees to get the results that you want. Second of all is them actually performing the task that we are trained to do. This is assessment. And third of all is the results. So in order to know that you are an effective leader, you have to follow these 3 steps, and the result, if it's a very productive results, and that if the leader is satisfied with the result, this by itself, the result by itself is the biggest compliment he can get, that he really effectively made his employees be capable to work on what they have to do. And also to just comment on what you just said right now. Can you just briefly repeat the point, because I kind of forgot.
I also forgot.
No.
No problem. Let's keep it going. Let
Oh,
someone else. Yes. Very good.
yeah.
Yeah, you have made the point. Yes, next one, please.
Joshua.
Next, please, and anyone, please don't. Please keep it
Okay.
going.
Let me add this. I would like to say also, a leader have to be positive, even when things are bad or when things are going wrong. So they have to stay positive. Otherwise, it might affect the overall performance of the company or of the team. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I think I want to add 2 things. First of all, I think leaders should be transparent. So they need to tell their employees, you know, why they've made the decision they've made, you know, to just yeah, just get them together, tell them, look, that's why I've made that, and so on. And then next thing I think is important is they need to keep an overview over everything that's going on in their team. So, you know, in project management, for example, they need to have an overview over their different work packages. So, I mean, we've added that already, that constant communication is there. Is key to that, but they need to keep up with everything that's going on. And then maybe also that of course depends on the leader. They need to stay up to date and need to look at trends in the market maybe. So I think that's more something a good manager should do, but manager should also be a good leader. So I feel like that kind of fits in here too. If yeah, so if there are any changing trends or something, I need to look if I need to adapt my strategy to those and then communicate that with my employees.
Yeah, very nice. And this line is, I think, please make note of this, that our friend is saying that these are something which a good manager should do anyways. Forget about leadership. So this is very interesting point, because in one of my sessions, I was having a discussion with my cohort, and I was saying that. Forget about leadership. Just forget about leadership. Just forget about leadership. Forget about being a leader. Just become a good manager. Manage your things properly. If you are not in that position to manage, just become a good worker, a good employee. Because if you are a good employee, you are going to look into these things like, overview, project management, what is happening in the market, looking at trends and so on. It's a very interesting point, because it reminds me of some things which I did not really, they were not in my mind, but this thought just brought those things in my mind. For example, we talk a lot about leadership. Leader is this, become a leader, lead by example, all of these type of things. Then we are talking about management, good practices, all of these type of things you must have read them in other courses and your own observation. And so leadership management, the conversation is revolving on this, and whole of undergraduate degree is going to finish, and hardly anyone is going to talk about followership. Yeah, people who are going to follow the manager, people who are going to follow the leader. Everyone is not going to become a leader. Everyone is not going to become a manager. Most of the people, generally speaking, are in the role of followership. If you become a good follower, that can do many things. Yeah, so this type of sentiment you need to, and ask yourself and be honest. You don't have to say, just ask yourself that how many times the conversation of followership, how to follow, how to support the manager, how to support the leader, how to become a good follower, how much that is entertained in any undergraduate degree or whatnot. I think that part is missing across the globe. So think about this. And before that, our friend made point of belief, your belief, what you believe in. Yeah. That supersedes anything else. What you no matter what I say, no matter what our cohort says, participants say, no matter what they say, no matter how convincing is the argument, at the end of the day, do you believe in that point or not? Do you have that belief or not? Do you have that mindset to believe it? Do you buy that argument or not? That is going to be the key thing in these type of arguments, because people can give you many pointers. The books are there, you can read them, but you will only get what you buy, what you believe in. And how that thing is framed, that thing is framed from way back, how you are, your atmosphere, environment, all of those things. So once you reach in the level of international trade and people have already formed their beliefs and you are selling them a product, how to manage that? They have their own beliefs, you have to make adjustment, if any. They might not make adjustment in the market is driven by consumer, by customer, by buyer. People make what people are going to buy. We don't make things, international trade do not make things which people are not going to buy, and they are going to buy based on their belief system. Yeah. Anything? Yeah. So think about these things. Very good. Yes, I'm going to take one more, please. Yes, go ahead.
Hello. Um, Guys, turn off your microphone. Where's it on? Yeah, I can only agree what you said, Mr. Professor, but maybe I can make a little elaborate detail into that, because out of my own work experience, I can tell that there's a lot of good managers out there. They have good grades, they have a lot of knowledge and stuff. But in my opinion, the biggest mistake someone can make, because if I start working in a company, I am new to that company. I don't know the company's culture. I don't know, or maybe it's a customer. I don't know the customer's company culture. Do they speak with the last name? Do they speak with their first name? Stuff like that. And I think the biggest mistake for a leader is when they don't create transparency for their employees, so that I know exactly what I do right and what I do wrong. Because the worst thing, if you work somewhere and you cannot evaluate your own work because your boss or your leader or your manager he's a manager, but he's not a good leader. And that's in my opinion, that's also from what I've seen in a lot of companies, that a lot of people leave the companies because people are bad leaders, because they don't want to work. They're not, as you said, they're not following the people. They're just doing what the managers do, and the manager's job is um, to distribute resources. That's a manager's job. He's not supposed to be a good person or whatever. So I think that's the biggest mistake a leader can make.
Thanks for that. Yeah, reflect on these pointers, and just to sum up this part, uh, leader, if the leader has ego, ego. Yeah, ego is good thing. It helps you also, but there is some bad aspect of ego also, having ego. So it has both positives and negatives. But think about it, that type of personality, if the leader has, then how things are going to happen. if leader, just like one friend mentioned, if leader thinks that they know everything and they can do everything and the final word is their words, what type of leadership is that? So for example, if I am leading the discussion, in no way, I have any belief that I know more than you. No, no. And same way, you should not have any belief that you know more than anyone else. Yeah. So it is collective. That is why human beings have progressed, because of collective wisdom. Uh, One generation learns something and then they pass the knowledge to the next generation. What makes us superior is because we can pass our our knowledge, what we have learned, to other people. But then do we pass our knowledge in the organization, what we know? Like for example, Dean is saying authoritarian leadership style, different types of leadership style. So think about those type of things, especially this mindset is well, but there is a big dilemma in this, because think about this. If you are reading on one topic and you are attending seminars and training and you are getting experience, so over a period of time, you will start thinking that you know this. Yeah, it is this is the dilemma, that because you have been doing it, so for you it is natural to think that yes, I know it. Yeah, I know it. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say that yes, you know it, but other people also know something. They are also life experiences. So, and you don't have to agree with all the points which other people make, but you should be able to take them, and then think about it if they fit in your situation or not. So you are going international trade, speak with other people with a different culture, what is happening, what is happening, what not, get an understanding from them. Yeah, after that, at the end of the day, you are responsible for your international trade. You need to make decision, whatever decision you need to make. Yeah. So but what we are trying to say, as one friend mentioned, feedback. So take feedback. After feedback, you can decide. So our friend is giving example of Steve Jobs. So as I mentioned, you think about those things. And so with this context, please think about this. What leaders, what mistakes they make, and try to understand. And over a period of time, as some friends have given their point of view, and you would agree with these points, because more or less these are the same mistakes coming again and again. Yeah. So again, the follow-up question can be that these are the same mistakes and people are making it across international trade when they are managing anything as a manager or leader or supervisor, whatever. So why people are not learning? What is it that people don't learn from from these things? They keep on repeating again and again same type of things. Yeah. So these are very very difficult questions to answer, but our idea here is that just sensitize yourself that what are the normal mistakes people are making in decision making roles, and then we should look within and try to get rid of those mistakes one at a time. And over a period of time we might become a leader who is making less mistakes than others. Yeah, no one is perfect, but so please look into this clip, the biggest mistakes a leader can make. These are top professors on the experts in that topic. They are going to tell you and try to reflect on those type of things. uh, Trust. Now trust, yeah, trust. Uh, we spoke about trust and those type of things. I mentioned it couple of times, so I want to show you a little. um, oh, my LinkedIn is not on. Okay, but going to this click. Yeah, going to this click, and you will see that they have uh, Twitter, a company. They have VP, who manage trust. Yeah, vice president. So you must have seen VP finance, vice president or president finance, marketing, supply chain issues, whatever. Yes, but they have a VP of trust. That is how important trust factor is in international trade and so on. Yeah. So sorry, yes, you're going to make once you make mistakes, what is going to happen? Yeah. So you should know how to say a genuine, heartfelt sorry. Yeah, heartfelt sorry. How to word a sorry, because no matter how much you prepare, you're going to make mistakes no much how knowledgeable your business is, there are going to be mistakes every now and then, without they are not doing it deliberately, but things happen, things happen. That is part of life. So when those things happen, as a participant of international trade, we should, and generally in life also, we should know how to apologize, how to say sorry, how to craft an apology, which is not fake, which is genuine. That is very important. Reflect in your own life. Someone made a mistake, and you felt bad, and when they said they are sorry, you said, well, you thought in your mind that they don't really mean it. Yeah. What was that which made you think that, oh, they are just saying it, they are saying they are sorry, but then they are not really sorry? What was it? Was it their body language? Was it their selection of words, the level of eye contact, or what was it, yeah, which made you, or their past behavior? Yeah. So as an international trade person, or even anything related with business, things happen in business, things happen in general life. So this is an art and science, how to craft an apology. So read on this, like, companies, when they make mistake, and there are a lot of companies, just keep an eye, how do they craft their press release or apology or whatever. What do they do? For example, when the flights are late or something like that, how do they craft an apology? When anything happens in the product or service delivery, how do they craft their apology? What words they say, what words they don't say. Read them with a deliberate way and see how they are doing, and then give yourself a task. Give yourself a task. Sit down, and when you see that some company has made a blunder, sit down and say, all right, if I'm working for this company, how I am going to craft a paragraph on apology, how I am going to ask the customers that we are sorry and whatever. Do it. Yeah. When a company make any mistake, and keep it aside, and when and if that company releases their press release, or they send their apology in the newspaper, in the media, their website, compare them. Compare what did you wrote, not think. Not think, wrote. I'm not asking you to just think. Think and write it down and put it aside before you read an apology. Yeah. So do this exercise. Yeah, you can do it with the past mistakes companies have made, where you know that they did apologize. So if a company made any mistake, don't read their apology note or sorry or whatever public notice. Don't read that. Just write your own thing, and then go back to there, and then see, compare. So if you do these type of exercise after a while, you will see that, okay, how to write this. Yeah. So maybe not directly related with your thing, media or journalism, or that part of international trade is involved in this. But you, if you aspire to become a manager, you should know these things, because yes, someone else is going to write these type of public communications for you, who has studied these things. And but they will, before they are published, they are going to come on your table, and you will say, all right, go ahead. Yeah. So when they come on your table, you quickly look at it in 1 minute, and then from your experience you say, no, take out this line, put this line, take out this word, put this word, because you have knowledge of that. So that is what is required from a successful business person in international market. So they don't have to be a guru or expert in areas. They need sophistication on areas, then they hire experts in the areas, and then the work comes to their desk, what they have done, and then they can have a viewpoint, and because they would have the strategy for the business, their vision, their whatever they want to accomplish, they can do that type of thing. So topic of apology, I think that is very important. Please reflect and do this exercise which I have told you in your, of course, in your own time. So Toyota made some issues or some problems, and this is a video for their apology, short video, nothing is long. So go through these things. This is now a TED talk, anatomy of an apology. When you are apologizing, you know what is, and this is across the when Tiger Woods, sports person, yeah. So when he made some mistake, he's asked for apology. So he's a sportsman, but he's an international sport. And what is a sport? Sport is also, it's being traded. People are watching in different countries. He's going into different markets, and when he made the mistake, you can run the Google search if you are not aware of that. Couple of years, there were some mistakes which he made. Um, so you can think, you can see how what he did with that type of apology. Um, Even top people in the world, for example, Bill Clinton, he made some mistakes in the past, and how did he came about apology? Other, you can see whatever in this, and reflect on this anatomy of an apology, how should it be, it is made. So we were talking about mistakes, and it is linked with decision making. Uh, Please find time to watch these following clips, because good decision making is critical. Think and reflect. Think on your own experiences. Why and when you made good decisions or bad decisions? Because with decision making, the problem with decision making is that you make a decision in this moment. You are, so if I have to make a decision or you have to make a decision, we are limited, because we know what we know till now. We don't know about the future. We can have a prediction, we can have a forecast, but it is still a forecast and prediction. We will only know in the future what is going to be the impact of our decision. Yeah. So we are making decisions based on our experiences, because based on the knowledge we have, whatever we have, and we make a decision now. In the future, we will know if it was a good decision or bad decision. So what I am asking you, that in your own time, again, you reflect on this. Look which decisions went good for you and which decisions were bad decisions. It can be anything, at work, in school, private, personal life, human relationships, whatever you want to think about, mistakes in anything. Because generally in the decision making, we want to understand the decision making process. Yeah. So when you made good decisions, which turned out to be good, you think that, you reflect on them and say, all right, what was I going through, what were the things I did right that time which helped me, um, those, that type of exercise. And then again, for the decisions which were bad decisions, you learned that they did not came out right for you, you again reflect and think, why you made them, what was going on your mind, what was the problem, information was less, or you were very emotional at that time, or you did not had any choice, or there was pressure from someone, or you were not wise enough at that time. If you are not wise enough, how you can be wiser now, so you make better decision now? How should one make decisions in the past? What has been your experience? So for example, a person in international trade who has been taking their own decision with their own feeling, gut feeling, intuition, knowledge, whatever you want to call it, if they have been coming out as good decisions, they will continue on that path. They will continue on deciding on their own and believing their gut feeling and so on. On the other hand, a person in international markets who made some decisions based on their gut feeling or intuition and they did not come out, next time they will be mindful, careful about that. That is why I don't want to give a verdict on this, that this is the way for decision making. It is very much based on your experiences, because for some people their intuition is very good. For others, it is their intuition is also good, but they are better off if they consult with other people, because then they can get more ideas and stuff like that. So that type of thing. And then yeah, reflect on this. So these videos, please watch them. Why we make good bad decisions, what are the reasons, the psychology of your future self. I really, yeah, please go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I've actually read a book a few weeks ago about decision making, and it's in German, but I think most of the people here in this class are in German, so I think it's actually a pretty good book, and it gives some nice approaches on how you make some decisions. So if you guys want to read it, it's called Entscheiden ist einfach, wenn man weiß, wie es geht. And it's by Philip Meissner. So he actually has some interesting approaches on how to make the right decision. That's it.
Vera, please go ahead. And first of all, it is perfectly fine to interrupt me, because my style is not lecturing. My style is participation. So I don't mind that at all. That is first thing. So if you have to say something very tangible, just like Vera did say, you can interrupt me. But it should be very tangible. So for example, Vera, please go ahead. Have you read that book? What did you learn? Please tell us.
My name is Bianca.
I haven't read that book, but yeah, I just wanted to add that, I mean, if you're making a mistake, in my opinion, it's then not about apologizing and like using words for it, but like put it into reality and showing action. So I mean, like, you won't know if the person is honest with you and is the apology is meant honest unless he or she will show it to you. So that's what I think about mistakes and how to deal with it afterwards.
Okay.
And I mean, this applies not only in private life but also in business life, in my opinion.
Okay, Veera. So let's do a role play. So let's say that I make a
actually read that book. I'm sorry, I have read that book. That's me, Bianca, not Vera. That's maybe you were confused.
When the mic comes for Veera, that's why who is speaking? Who spoke?
Bianca here. That's me. I had the book recommendation. I'm not the first in line. Maybe that's why you thought that, Vera wanted to say something. Okay. But yeah.
This is Bianca.
Yes.
Okay, you have read that book. Please go ahead and tell us.
Okay, so he had like 7 steps on how to make the right decision. And first of all, he says, well, you cannot decide whether a decision was bad or good based on future happenings, because you cannot influence those future happenings and you don't know about them. So a decision is good if in that moment that you make the decision, you feel like it's a good decision. And the approaches are basically, first of all, get all the information you can about this decision. So, just inform yourself. Then I think don't ask family or friends about it, but ask someone who has been through that situation and already solved it. I mean, obviously, it's been a few weeks, so I don't know all the approaches, but another one was just sleep a night over this decision, or just get your head off the topic if you don't have, I'm sorry, if you don't have, any time to sleep about it. And then get someone's opinion who is a component on what you think about it, and get his point of view. Yeah. And then then actually actually make the decision, because people tend to, how do you say that? So you have to set a deadline on when you will make the decision, because otherwise you will postpone it and so on. So those were some approaches of it.
A great contribution to the discussion, and thanks for that. So Bianca, if let's do this role play. So I'm trying to understand, if I make a mistake and I am asking for sorry or apology from you, you are not going to look at my words. You are saying you will look more to my actions, what I do tangibly. That is what you said.
I wasn't actually referring to when I do something wrong or when I make mistakes, but just when I have like a really, really big decision coming on and I don't know what to decide for. Like those are the kind of the approaches on how to make the right decision. Like I wasn't talking about mistakes or something, but you were talking about decision making when you referred to that video, and I felt like that was, something to say because it's quite interesting.
Thanks for your contribution. But this point, think about this. Like some people and some people have told me this, that really want to. They like it. They don't believe in words and like this. What the person is saying, that they are sorry or whatever, and even in decision making, when they are deciding, they don't just look at the word composition and those type of things. They are really looking for action. So that point, I think we should make a note of that. Another point which is extremely good, and I I had personal experiences on that also. Uh, many times, like you very important in decision making, who do you ask? Because yes, of course, our friends, our colleagues, we tend to think that they have our best interest in their heart, and that is true. There is no denying that. But as our friend is mentioning, that you need to see if they have concrete tangible knowledge of that field or not. uh, if they don't have, maybe they are very good human beings and all those type of things, but you can't take their opinion too much into the decision making, only because they just don't know. If someone don't know, they don't know yet. That is it. It is just like, let me give some easy relatable example. Like, if you have a car, let's say you have a car, a very nice beautiful car, and uh, you say, all right, Tashfin, I bought a new car. Let me treat you, and you come and you pick me, and we are going to have fun or whatever. And I say that, let me drive it. So you know that I might be your best friend, and but I don't know how to drive. Yeah. So you know that I don't know how to drive, but I'm your best friend. I'm the first one you told, before anyone, after family. You just reach out to me, and maybe I am the first person to sit in your car outside of family. So you are giving me high rate, but should you give me your car to drive? No, you should not, because I just don't know how to drive. So what you can say, Tashfin, don't worry about it. You are going to drive it, but let's first get you driving lessons. I am going to pay for your driving lesson. You are my friend, no problem. So let's put you in a school. You drive there for 3 months, 4 months, get your license. After that, you say, Rashmi, let's start with some less expensive car. This car is very expensive, right? So let's start with a less expensive car. Yeah. So you put me in that, and you give me some time, and I'm driving that, and couple of thousand kilometers. Once we are comfortable, then you say, all right, no problem. You drive it now, but this is the first time. Just drive it slowly. Over a period of time, you will hone your skill, and then you can drive it fast also. So this is the, so what are you are trying to protect the environment, and there is no offense in that. So you are paving the path. But at that time, in the early day, when I ask you, if someone don't know how to drive, you can't give them the car. As simple as that. Yeah. Same way, if someone don't know about a situation, they have not been in that, and all those type of things, they might give you uh, 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 best ideas, but that best is based on their knowledge, which they don't have, that hands-on first hand knowledge they don't have. So this is, and we make these type of mistakes specifically in international trade. We do make these type of mistakes because you will have colleagues, you will, and they will be knowledgeable, and they would have helped you in good decision making in the past. So you have been consulting them for various decision, and the new thing comes in international trade. So it is just natural for you to reach out the people you have been asking. So you will reach out to that person, and they will sound fine when they will say it will make sense, but when you implement it, it may be not work out, because let me repeat this, and maybe you should write it somewhere. Nothing, nothing, nothing beats experience. Nothing. You can read all the books in international trade, all the books you can, but that practical experience which you will hands-on experience with 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 something, there is no substitute for that. That is why experience based learning is the is the future direction which we should take. uh, Psychology of futures of your future self, this is very interesting, psychology of future self. So please listen to this very carefully. I learned a lot from this clip which you are seeing on the screen now. So I'm not going to elaborate on this what they are saying, but this is extremely important. This is idea cast. Make better decision. Please look into this, and then these are some things I've given some example here. I elaborate here. So please spend some time on this, and go through go through that, please. Uh, Next thing I would want to discuss is that national differences in political, economical, legal, and technological systems. Um, Please remember, link it with the previous discussions in your own time. For example, uh, one time one of our friends was mentioning about Venezuela, what is happening there, and stuff like that. You should read about that. Another friend, Arafat, he was talking about Yasser Arafat, Honorable Yasser Arafat, what has been happening in other countries like Palestine, and so on, so forth. So political, economic, legal, and technological things. Please reflect on those type of things. Political economy, yeah. What is political economy? Um, Not hard. Let's keep it simple. Politics and economy. What is the role of politics of improving economy, and what is the role of economy in improving the political systems of the country? In other words, in very simple terms, you will read the book definitions and all those things in your own time. I want to keep things simple as much as possible. So politics and economics, how they interplay with each other to facilitate incoming businesses, because we are talking about international trade. So we are thinking international trade is going to come in some territory. So what are the political systems there? How the economy is there? What are the laws of the land, legal requirement, all those type of things? They can be very important to reflect on. technological systems and expand it beyond technology, because maybe you would want to think about infrastructure. So you want to go in some country, is infrastructure available there or not? Simple things like internet connectivity. So now are the times for online, and all these online things are happening uh, because of COVID-19. Businesses are going in that, but you can't do this too much in a country which does not have the infrastructure, the penetration of internet, the availability of smartphone devices. That is not there. Maybe affordability is not there in that country, and so on. So you need to be very mindful of these differences. Uh, and link it with our previous discussions. This is our third day, so I can remember many examples which you can link, but I don't want to repeat them, and uh, we want to move forward. So please think about this. Based on your own experience, think about that. Different, you might have traveled, you have experience from different countries. Some friends gave examples about that, like in the last session one friend mentioned about some king who passed away and how that influenced their travel in some way. uh, Similar way, international trade is being influenced by the type of political leadership, economic situation, other things which you would read in a introduction to economy class, like for example purchasing power parity. Yeah, what is the purchasing power of individuals? What is the GDP? What is per capita income of the country? These indicators really have to look into that over on the overall scheme of things. You want to know how open that country is for international trade, because if, let's say that if you make some mistake, and it is a genuine mistake, and you did not do it deliberately and it just happened, and now you are explaining it to the people who are in government in terms of law of the land, legal people, legal officer, government officer. How are they going to treat you? Are they going to look into the details and maybe analyze that, yes, maybe it was a genuine mistake you made? Or what is there corruption in the country? Are they going to ask you for bribe bribe or favor or gifts? Or what is, if you do something wrong in the country, how can you get away by giving something, or the law is very very strict? These type of things you want to really think about, because if you look at the laws, legal requirements, and that you can reflect on in your law related classes in a more detail. What I want to say is that if you look at the laws of different countries, almost all the countries have laws, regulations, but the question is that how much that law is practiced. That is the question. And if you don't practice, can you get away or not? So you need to think about that. So if your business is something like which is like you sometimes you cut corner or something like that, you don't want to go in a country which is going to really be strict with those type of things and stuff like that. That is what this section is about. I have made a lot of postings here. You can go through them and think about them in your own time. I have also shared uh, some examples from this part of the world, Jamaica, Caribbean, and so on. If you are interested, you can look into them in your own countries, wherever you are from. You can look into that information. That is the how is the law for international business people? Is it strict? Is it rigid? Or it is not? And you will see that the developing countries, many of the developing countries, they don't have very they have laws, but they are also very welcoming to international businesses, because they understand that they can only grow if more and more trade comes in their country. Especially in the context, this is especially true for those countries where that country do not produce a lot of goods. They are not into the production and operations management too much. The production level is low, export is low. Mostly they are importing things. So different countries are different. Even in Europe, you will see some countries are very, like, they are producing a lot of things, but there are many countries which are very much dependent on imports and international businesses and foreign direct investment, which we'll talk about shortly maybe. So you have to think, you have to look into this. But for international trade, what I'm trying to say is just be mindful of these type of things. So a lot of things are posted here. They are for for your exposure essentially. You don't have to read them. You read them if you want. If you don't want, you don't read. So for example, I was looking in a couple of countries where, so for example, I found this. You would be aware of this already. Germany bans emails after work hours. So out of hours banned by German labor ministry. Yeah. So uh, personally speaking, where I come from, and you know what my culture is, nothing like that. You guys can email me whatever time you want, no problem for me. Yeah. But then we have a little different type of relationship. It is just like 1 week or so. But if it's a long term relationship, then maybe people would want to think about think about think about this. Uh, France, for example, right to disconnect law. That is very interesting. Yeah. So France is saying that you can look into this, that you can disconnect after certain time. You can disconnect from your devices, and you can have your own time and stuff like that. Netherlands, Holland, they have very interesting policies. You can look into those also. This is something which I wanted to share with you. I'm not sure if you would know this or not. Look at this. Please look at this. Yeah, this is not fake news. This is not fake news. Yeah, so this is confirmed news. So Bolivia law allows self-employed children aged 10 to work. Come on.
I want to say something about that Bolivar law. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think his connection is gone.
Okay.
Yes, we were talking about. Yes, we were talking about some laws, Germany, France, and so look at this one now. Bolivia, and I was saying this is not fake news. Bolivia law allows self-employed children aged 10 to work. Aged 10. Just take a moment. Just just try to imagine how a 10-year-old looks like. Take a moment. Just take a moment. Yeah, we have time.
I think this law is a child abuse law. Or don't you think?
Yeah,
Because
that's
a 10 year old should be in school, studying, and when he or she is back, he should be doing his assignment and preparing for next day in school and not be working even on weekend. He shouldn't be working. He should be relaxing and preparing his brain for the next or for the following week. I think this law is a child abuse law. A child can work from the age of 16, but age 10 is too small.
yes, yes. Yeah, so Ben has made a comment. We should read that. Yeah, so uh, the idea is not to debate the law, and the idea is not that if it is right or wrong. That is not the idea. The idea is this, that in Bolivia they have made it legal. Yeah. So, but if you look at it, it is in quotations, self-employed children. Yeah. So there are some details on this now, that what would fall under this category, because there is situation in Bolivia that that country is better off if they let their children work, because of the other legal, economical, societal pressures people feel there. In their context, this is not that bad. Although we do understand that 10 year is pretty young, but we that is the point of understanding other countries in international trade. So yes, we can have our opinion that this is not right, and that is why I am showing it with you, sharing it with you. But in international trade, this is this type of facility, and this is just one example. Many countries give these type of facilities to international trade. So imagine that if some company wants to open their factory in Bolivia, they will have, and it requires some labor which is not very hard to understand or do. They can employ these people, these children, and give them minimum wage and do their thing. So Bolivia has decided to do this, and that is their decision. Uh, Look at other type of policy like drinking age. What should be drinking age across the globe? There is no consensus on this. It is different people different. What should be the age of lawful sexual relationship or stuff like that? There people have different countries have, even within the most developed countries like United States of America, they have their different policies in different states. So what I'm trying to say, it is not just like international trade. In generally in life, societal issues like these, smoking. When you go to buy a cigarette, what should be your age? If you want to go to a club, what should be your age? All of these laws are very different in different countries. So this is how it is. So that is why you see what you want to do in international trade and which countries suit you. So this is just one example, but you decide, overall in terms of bringing in raw material. Yeah. So if you are doing international trade, you would be bringing in raw material. So the type of raw material which you are going to bring, um, how fast is it to clear it from the port of entry in that country? Is it fast? Is it slow? How things work in that? You want to know that. So whatever you are going to do, you would want to think about that. And this is just one example. Bolivia is indeed a beautiful country, and because I have read on the issue, if you are seeing it for the first time, just like Arafat made his comment that this is maybe wrong. So yes, it's maybe wrong, but you have to, what is wrong and right. We spoke about that in the first session when we are talking about things. Uh, so Not saying it is right, but if Bolivia has decided that, or the other laws which businesses, which governments will decide for their for opening international businesses, letting them come in, either in the sense that they come themselves and build production houses, or just bringing in the products. Either way, you would have to look into that. This is, I've added, technology has and will continue to impact various segments of international trade. You must have observed it in your own life also, how in the past, let's say 10 years, how technologies has shaped and changed your environment and all these type of things. Even simple things like, you take public transportation, how technology has in that. You go to a restaurant, how technology has improved in that. Last year I was in Germany. That is where I met, I came to your beautiful university, and I made some very nice friends there. So in that trip, I also got a chance to go to other countries. Many countries I went to. One of them was Hong Kong, and I went when I went to Hong Kong. That was my first experience in that country, and some friends invited me to go with them for dinner, and they were very nice, and I said yes, yes, please take me. So they took me to they asked me what do I like and stuff like that. I said I would like to have some sushi. So they took me there, and from the entry in that restaurant till the time we paid the bill, the human interaction was so less. It was totally technology driven. When we were in the entrance, we got our ticket number using a kaisok. Then we went in, we placed our all of our whatever we wanted to order, using our smartphone. uh, then when we wanted something, they had some tablets there, where on those tablets we placed the order. We were sitting on a table where they were rolling dishes, so our order will just, when it is prepared, it will roll out from the kitchen, and it will just come and stop in front of us. If we wanted some human interaction, of course there was a button and we could call the person. So if we I did press the button, but then my friend told me that you could also order water from this, so they would bring it. So I thought, no, I wanted to see if there is some people working in there or not. So she said yes, there are a lot of people working, but they have made it very technology driven. I'm talking about last year. And then when the time for payment came, again it was just to go to the counter and you just swipe your outside. But I asked them that, no, please let me pay. They said, no, you can't pay, let us pay. And I said, no, let me pay. And then what happened is that uh, uh, I had cash. So so I said that I'm going to pay by cash. So for that now, uh, a person had to come, and they made the transaction, because they had to look at the notes if they are legal. And then I am coming from another country, and maybe whatever, so someone came for that. So but outside of that, you could just go and come out without anything, yeah, without any human interaction. Yeah, that is where the technology. So international trade, you look at the ports in read some details. I got a chance to go to Netherlands, Holland also. I visited couple of plants there. I went to Philips. I think port was also there. So a lot of things like on the port is technology driven. Many things are happening using technology. And you guys, of course, coming from Europe, you must have traveled and seen how much technology has changed things. But anyways, I have prepared this link for you, so you guys can go through this link. Let me link it, and so this is what it is. Uh, you can, I don't want to spend our time on this because I have made the postings there, and I want you to take your time and go through them. The Amazon is there, the UK example is there, uh, Germany. So we can't escape the session without talking about BMW. So a fascinating clip is there, hand gestures and uh, uh, beautiful example. Yes. Hyundai is there. These examples are generally I show them again in the session, and then we talk about it. But you're going to do this in your own time. And self-driving cars, this is a reality now. This is the example is going to show you where they are actually driving it on the road, and no problem. Then drones, pizza food is being delivered by drones now. Post medicine, these things are done by drones. Drone is being used as taxi, or it will be in coming months or something like that. Dubai has tested that. So imagine that you can just like you call a taxi on your app, you will be able to call a drone taxi on your app, and so on. Human flying is, people are doing human flying, they are improving it again more and more. uh, these clips you should take a moment to watch them again. Right in now in current time, you might think, oh, it's not going to happen maybe, but we are not saying it will happen tomorrow, but eventually it's a very big possibility that people are going to fly from one place to another. And these examples, once you will go through them, you will see how far this thing has come, especially this one, lake wing testing at speed. Go through all the example, but pay attention to this, what is happening, pay attention to this. They are teaching other people, they are giving classes. This company creativity is behind that, so you should look into these type of things. uh, this one now, these technologies, robots have improved tremendously. uh, of course, sometimes bad things will happen. Do you know that car assembly line robot killed a worker in Germany? This has happened, unfortunately, in the past. You can see, look into this, Volkswagen Germany. But you can't make this a case against technology. Yeah, so these accidents happen. Maybe the human being who was interacting with the robot or technology, they did something which they were not supposed to do. Yeah, so same way, if we are driving a Tesla car, and it is self-driving and it gets into some accident, it is not just that, it's not as simple that, oh, because it was technology, that's why, because it was self-driving car, that's why we had this accident. No, not at all. Because think, look around, when human beings are driving, how many accidents we are having uh, uh, per day, globally speaking. Just run a Google search, car accident every day in the world, and see what comes up. That is a big number. So definitely technology, once we reach that infrastructure in terms of roads also, not just the cars, the roads also are very important. uh, and the communication with car to car, these things are going to change. So how these things are going to impact international trade, when your container is going to go in the country, and that container is going to talk with the next container. Anna is giving us a number, 3700 people. Thanks very much for that, Anna. 3700 people. Yeah, so when someone says that, oh, this is not safe and whatnot, yes, it is not 100% safe right now, but neither are human beings. So this is a mixture of technology and human beings, human technology interaction. That is where we should go for. So there are some things which human beings are better in them. Yeah, there are other things where we can have a lot of benefit by using technologies. So when both things will combine and merge, then I think the business side is going to go up. This one is very good. Can we create new senses for humans? So please do watch this clip. This is very important. In this clip, they are demonstrating and showing you that how it is possible to feel the production house, how to feel it by senses on your body. Yeah, it's a mind-blowing idea. And these are not like sci-fi and those type of things. These are the things which people are working right now. If you are reading relevant publications, how future of shopping is going to change, how artificial intelligence is doing things, how 3D scanning is doing things. Some examples are there. So please reflect on this. And then I have posted this movie. I'm not sure if you have watched this or not. Ex Machina or Ex Machina. If you have watched it, very good. If you have not watched it, I highly recommend that whenever you get a chance, you watch it. Future of relationships. What is going to be the future of relationships? Yeah, look at that. Uh, a girl is maybe dating a robot, and robot is doing the things she like, whatever she's interested, or he, anyone, a male or female, a robot companion. They are not going to destroy your emotions or feelings or whatever. They are going to say the things which they know because of artificial intelligence and connectivity with your brain, with your thoughts, emotions. They are going to tell you the right things. They know when to talk, they know when to not talk, that type of thing. So, and these things are being tested. This might look a little bit freaky now, because you might say, oh, what is this is but this may be not for you. We're not talking about individually who will use it and who, but there is a segment of in the society which is going to be influenced by that. So what I'm saying, that technologies are disrupting all the aspects, all the spheres of human life, and international trade is going to be one of that, because trade is what, we want products, we're trading. Yeah, so in your trade, in whatever role you are going to do over there, it would be so look at this. A man in China gave his robot Scarlett Johansson's look. Yeah, Scarlett Johansson is a famous actress. You can read into that. Yeah, then look into your how your life has become easy because of all the transactions you can do using online, like these companies like Finland, Norway, Sweden, even Germany. A lot of things you can do, many things you can do online. My friend who is German, and he was here in Jamaica. This was very frustrating for him, because he had to, whatever transaction he has to do in the government level, he has to go there and wait in the line and all those type of things. And he was saying, in Germany this don't happen. We just do it online and those type of things. So for your international trade, when you are going into some country, you have to be mindful of this, that in that country what is happening. Some other technologies I have included here: artificial intelligence, 5G, internet of things. One friend spoke about big data. So this link, you can go through this link and see this how artificial in various industries. So no matter in which area you are going to go in international trade, international business, you want to understand these technologies are going to, in construction, uh, in making art, different type of art, different type of music, writings, how you are going to write, how publications write using artificial intelligence. So you don't need to employ a person who is going to write an article. Machines can do that. uh, uh, and in the future, that capacity is just going to increase. So for now, maybe it has not reached at that level, but going forward, next 20 years, next 30 years, if not that, next 50 years, imagine the type of world. So as one friend mentioned in the leadership discussion, many people are living for the moment. Yeah. So uh, in international trade, this is a very fascinating, interesting time to think about these things and help our companies. We might not create our own company right now. We might be working for other companies. So to them, we can facilitate, help, give these ideas, and then it's up to them if they are going to take it or not, and so on. Yes. So some EU examples I have given here. So in your own time, please go through that, and that should take care of the differences, understanding the political nature, economical nature, the type of government setup, bureaucracy, law related law police, and these type of institutions, policing, the people who come and inspection people, inspection officers who come and visit your plants, if that is the type of international trade where you have gone. Other type of requirements, I gave you examples of some things in the earlier conversations. For example, the packaging, uh, those requirements, and then link it with the other things, like one friend mentioned that number 4 in Taiwan. Yes, remember that example. So those type of things you need to mix and match them in this. Uh, for international trade theory, of course, yeah, you should read the relevant sections from the book. Book is posted on the website. Different type of trade theories would be given. Just have to read them and link them with our discussion, which type of theory is relevant where. For example, international trade theory and political economy, if you want to link them. So political economy is the impact of politics on economy, where politics is laws, regulations, and customs made by politicians, government, and economy is what and how you produce and generate, etc. And then with the use of international trade theories, they can help you. But the times are changing. Times are changing. So uh, the theories are there to help you understand maybe the context, but then you have to see what. These clips are very important. Essentially, these are the things which I wanted to say, and I could say them myself also, but let's give them the credit, because these are the people where I learned these things. So these are exceptional people in their field. I had a chance to um, listen to them. So external markets, how they can save you more money. They are giving example. The importance of face in China. So in some instances in international trade, uh, how you are going to deal with the politics of the country, with the government officials, how giving other people a chance to face save, although you know that they have made a mistake, but you don't go out with them that yes, you have made mistake. You give them a chance. Be proactive with government relationship. This and all these clips are very short, so don't get worried. Just before you know, they will be finished. So they make some important ones. They are short clips. Yeah. So be proactive with government relationship. This clip is really fascinating because it really talks about that when challenges come in life, when two people are there and then they have some challenge. Yes, that is a bad situation, but it is also a good situation, because if you are able to rectify that problem, that is going to strengthen your relationship also. Yeah. If I and you have a little argument, and I am able to deal with the argument in a nice way, or you are able to deal with me in a nice way, then yes, that was a problem, but it helped us come closer. We have a little better relationship. Same is for governments. So government has their laws, regulation. You do something, now it's a, so don't look at as a so it is your perception, it is your mindset, how you view things. Do you view it as a challenge, or you view it as an opportunity? Yeah. So that is what that is the best international trade theory to me. Like if you ask me, that is the best one. But you look into this and see what is happening. What is the this is Canada example. You can go through that. These are some podcasts on some friends mentioned the role of communication in blunders, mistakes leaders make, all of that thing. You should look into this. Yesterday's session, I mentioned Procter and Gamble, and I told you how many. So I asked you to go on their website and so on. I want to do that quickly in the session, I think. So look at this, Unilever. So you might not be aware of the company itself, or you might be, but what are the things they make? What are the brands? Just quickly go through, like you will be amazed at how many different brands Unilever manage. Yeah, so look at that. Axe, Clear, the Dove, Cornetto, Fair and Lovely, Dove Men Care. So one friend has saying 400 brands, 400 brands. Yeah, 400. And every brand is how much money every brand is making. That's amazing. So how are they able to do that? Yeah, so this is a very good case study for you to go deep into that and reflect that what is the how they do this thing, what is happening. Have a little conversation with those type of people who are working there in any capacity. Yeah, Lipton, yeah, Lifebuoy. These are international brands, international Lux. Yeah, you might like them and you might not like them. You might prefer some other brand. That is fine. Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that there are big markets for these type of brands. Yeah, Sunsilk. Yeah, Surf, Ben and Jerry. Yeah, Breeze. USD turnover 67, 68 million. Our friend is telling us. Thanks for that. Yes. So how do they start it? How did they go in international market? When they go in international trade, what do? What are the things? How do they prepare to go in international trade? Have they made any mistakes in international trade? Of course they have. Many mistakes they have made. How do they rectify those mistakes? Those are the things which you should be looking at, of course, in your own time. Yeah. And all these things have nothing to do with your evaluations or anything, the score. These are for if you are interested, if you want to, if you are, and of course you are doing a bachelor's in business. So I'm assuming that you are interested, of course. So these, and you don't have to do it in this week. The website is there. It is open for you to. I have no I have no problem. You can access it whenever you want and however you want and whatever you want to do with it. So that's not a problem. So you look into these things. Yeah. Big, amazing. Yeah, so this was Unilever. But then when you go in the market, does it very clearly show you that these are Unilever products? No, there's a very small logo is there, Unilever. Otherwise the brand is whatever they are selling, they are. So many times people would not even know if they don't really read that this is a Unilever product. So read this, go into this, and they have these sections, investor relations, news, sustainable living. I told you sustainable development is very environment, sustainability, and all those type of things. So they have their information on that. So please take time, reflect on this, and so on. And you don't have to do it for this particular company, because I like these brands, Unilever and Procter and Gamble, and I'm very fascinated how they were able to do this. If these are not your type of brands, you go in your brand. Let's say you like clothing, So for clothing, why don't you look at Zara? That brand has, you might like it, you might not like it. That is another story. We are not going to buy the product if you don't like it, but we want to read it, that what is there, how what they able to expand and manage it in such a nice way. They is quite an interesting company to look at if you are into clothing. So if you are into any whatever your field, whatever your sector, whatever you are interested in, do that. Next one, Procter and Gamble. Procter and Gamble, P&G, even maybe bigger. How many brands they have? Look at this. Pampers, yeah. Ace, Ariel, yeah. Bounce, yeah. Gain, yeah. Tide, yeah. Bounty, Puffs, yeah. Always is their brand, yeah. And these are real international brand in the sense. So they might not be available in your country too much, but I'm talking about on the international level. If you take out the statistics for international level, you would see that they are there. Pepsi, have you gone to the site of Pepsi? Do you think that they only make that carbonated water? Are you aware that how many different tastes Pepsi has in different countries? Different tastes of Pepsi. Do you know how many snacks they make? They are into different types of snacks. Uh, Red Bull. Uh, no, it is not just Red Bull. Red Bull is doing other things like water, drinking water. Red Bull is selling that. Yeah. So how are they able to distinguish themselves in different market in international trade? Toyota and Lexus, yeah, same chassis, same platform, yeah, but different branding, international marketing. How they separate both, yeah. What are they doing to not confuse a student, a buyer, yeah, in that. Very interesting example.
I think another good example is Nestle, who has a
Yes,
lot of brands,
please
and
go
no
ahead.
one actually wants to buy Nestle because of all the negative things they have done. But you basically can't not buy Nestle because they have so many products and you don't know that it's Nestle. So yeah, you
Beautiful. Thanks.
buy it.
Thanks very much for this, Lee. Yes, Nestle. Please read the mistakes Nestle has been making or has made in the past, like in different markets they have made. Just type in Nestle and blunders and mistakes they have made. And we are not trying to, the idea is not to bash these companies. They are exceptional companies. We just want to read and study how do they do that when they are going in international trade. What is their methodology when they make mistake? How do they do that? If they make a mistake and they have to come out of the country, how do they re-enter? All of these things, by reading and by studying, observing, we will have a little bit of understanding. And then when we are given the chance, we are given the role, then we can see how we want to do. And even then we might make mistakes, but we don't want to make the same mistakes which have been repeated again and again and again. That is why we are Gillette.
Can I share a point, please?
Just yes, please, Alter, go ahead.
I think Unilever has more brands than P&G. They have 400, but for Procter and Gamble they have 65. But the thing with Procter and Gamble is that they have more focus on the brands itself, for example, and they have also inorganic growth. They went globalization by inorganic growth. For example, Gillette
Yeah.
was owned by the Gillette company previously, and it's now taken over by Procter and Gamble. That's what made Procter and Gamble a very big company, because they're taking over another big companies and putting them under the brands of Procter Gamble.
Very good, beautiful point. So this is linked with the strategy of the business. Please read on this: organic growth, inorganic growth. When you facilitate the businesses to grow on their own. On the other hand, when you force some of the things in it, that is so. Our friend made a good comparison of that, and thanks for that, because I said that P&G is maybe even bigger. So he's telling us that how they are big and how they are not big. comparing with other companies. So thanks very much for that point. So what I was trying to say is that look at just Gillette. If me and you can just get Gillette, our life is sorted. Our next generation's life is also sorted, and the generations to come forward, if we take care of the business, of course. Just one brand Gillette is good enough. Again, you might hate the brand Gillette, but that is not the point. I'm talking about how much money that just one brand alone is making, and that is true for others. So think about these things. uh, Head and Shoulder, Herbal Essence, Pantene, Old Spice, and on and on and on. Yes. So amazing stuff. So I've added these, but you can Nestle was a Nestle again. Please look into that, because our friend is right. They did make some some mistakes. In earlier sessions, I think I briefly touched on the point of LGBT, gays, lesbian in the ethics and so on. I have included this example of $1 billion business. This is $1 billion business, and when we are talking about billion, it is USD dollars. So Barilla, yes, I'm sure you are aware of this brand. This is the brand, and in your own time, go through this. This is the top guy of Barilla, and this is the apology from him. He is a very well connected guy. So first of all, very rich and also very influential. He can easily have dinners and dine in and dine out with the prime ministers, presidents of the countries of his choice, wherever he is doing business. He is that influential in that business, in his business, and he's also very well networked and all. But look at this. He made some blunder, made some mistake, which maybe is not a mistake, but then he has to apologize. So I'm not going to spoil your suspense. Please, in your own time, look look into that. Trade theories, political economy, laws, regulation, customs, link it with globalization, link it even with the topics which we'll cover in the future, like foreign direct investments. Strategy, our friend mentioned strategy. He compared the strategy of Procter and Gamble and Unilever. Do that. Yeah, those type of things, I think we should be looking at. In the same breath, touch it with the government policy and international trade. Government policy. Yeah, what is the policy of a country, and how it facilitates or hampers international businesses to come in or flourish, and so on and so forth. So if you reflect on our conversation today, this is kind of, yeah, I've spoken about this. Yeah, government policy. Yeah, what is which. So, for example, in one of the discussions, this idea came about protectionism. Protectionism. I asked you to run a Google search on that. Protection, tariffs, barriers. Uh, there are rankings, like, please run a search on this ease of doing business ranking. Ease of doing business ranking. Yeah, that ranking tells you how easy it is uh, to go in a country for business, and they look at different variables and so on. Look into that just briefly for 2-3 minutes. You don't have to go very deep, or 5 minutes. That's enough, just for your understanding or knowledge or whatever. So how do governments make it easy? What do they do? So there is less bureaucracy. More things are digitized. If there is some problem and you call, people are going to attend your call, take you through, solve your problem quickly. You won't have to pay bribes and commissions and gifts. And if you want to gift someone from your own will, and you want to, I don't think there is anything wrong in it, but then again, that is cultural issue. Who you want to give a gift, and who you want to. That is, now different personalities are there. So think about that. these developing in your when you will study this topic in the developing countries, they, because they are developing and they are not maybe manufacturing, producing a lot of things in the now in current time, so they welcome international businesses very easily, because when international business comes, it brings a lot of investment and all other type of things, which I want to talk later on in some other session maybe. But because of their political situation, because of their political economy, because of their infrastructure, because all these things which we touched on in today's sessions and earlier on, they don't have much choice. So they will let come the international business, and if they make any mistake, they will let them go, because they are dependent on them. Because if that international business pulls off from the country, it can be a problem because of the investment that business has brought. On the other hand, if you are a developed country, then of course you have a little better, little better negotiation with those countries. But to beat a successful international business on a negotiation table is very difficult, even for uh, very strong political leaders. Yeah, let me repeat. To defeat or to get your point across to a successful international business in a negotiation, it is extremely difficult and challenge, even for very strong governments, even for developed countries. Because at the end of the day, the way societies are now, money has its power. uh, Ethically or not ethically, that is again your own point of view. But think about, like our friend mentioned, Nestle's mistakes, that's Nestle's blunders, you're going to read in your own time. So when they make a mistake, how many can a government say, tell them that please go out of this country and we are not going to yeah, we don't want your products. In a classroom discussion, we can say that. In a textbook, we can say that. But the practicality of life is nothing like that. You cannot negotiate with that company, because if that pulls out, it is going to pull out like everything, it's going to pull out. And it might pull out its distributor also. It might pull out its supply chain also. It's going to impact you hugely. And for them, yes, you can say that for Nestle also it will be a problem, or Procter and Gamble it will be a problem. But they are international businesses. They are out of 200 countries. They are in more than 120, 130 markets, different markets. So they can afford a little bit of thing there. And you will see companies do that. Sometimes they just flex their muscles, uh, especially when there is rivalry brands like Pepsi and Coca-Cola. Yeah, so they are kind of rivalry brands in their market segment, carbonated water. Because I'm interested in carbonated water market, that's why I'm bringing this example. You can read on this and see how they try to influence different government policies, and what do they do, how do they ask the government that they need to do that. And government does not have much incentives to do that. Please also uh, these international businesses which we have mentioned, and there are many other, for example IBM, uh, other businesses like Amazon, Alibaba, and these type of businesses. Please do some research and try to find top 50 businesses in the world, and try to find how much money they make every year. Yeah, one more time, because I think this is important exercise. So try to do this. Find out top 50 or top 100 international businesses, and see how much money they make. And you don't have to do it separately. Just run a Google search, list of top 50 companies and their the money they make every year, something like that. There must be some list. So it's a 1 minute job, 2 minute job. And then whatever money they make, compare it with the GDP, gross domestic production, yeah, of countries. Take a list of the countries in the world, 190, 200, whatever is the number, and see what is their GDP, what is their production, and then compare the numbers. You will see that there are many international businesses, many, which make more money in a year than countries combined. In other words, a country is earning less than a successful international business. And this makes this topic very difficult to deal with, government policy, because it is just like in a negotiation table. You are sitting with someone else. Yeah, just imagine that. Who wins a negotiation? Who wins a negotiation? Powerful is going to win the negotiation, the one who has more power, the one who has more influence. That is going to, generally speaking, the one who is more rich, more money, they are going to win the negotiation. We'll have to do what they are saying. The same way in a negotiation table, if a country is making less money than the international business with which they are negotiating, how they are going to negotiate? Very tricky. And if countries start throwing these international brands out, then how the simple concepts of economics like demand and supply will be met? The country cannot produce things on their own. International businesses go out. We can always argue that new businesses will come and take place of those products, and that is fine, or other ideas which are coming in your mind, that is fine, that happens, you can do that. But in the short run, specifically, a market is driven by consumer choice. So if a consumer wants a Nestle product, or a consumer wants a P&G or whatever, these type of, and consumer goes to the shop and he say, give me this, I'm giving you money, give me this. That shop owner, if he wants to survive, he need to find a way to bring that thing in the market. And this is where illegal trade starts. Yeah, illegal. So something is banned in the country, but it is definitely available somewhere in that country. No matter which country is it, no matter what the law, no matter European country, no matter USA, no matter what. We are not talking about developing country. Developed country ban products, yet they are available. That same product from the same company. Why is that? Consumer has the money. Consumer says, take my money, give me that. He's going to get that. So in all of this, see what is how influential it is. It can become. This can become. And on this note, I really want to. It's too bad I can't see you guys and I'm not there. It's too bad. But anyways, what I really want to say, and I hope you can do something on this. I really genuinely hope. You guys will graduate and all of these things, and you will find jobs and something. But I really encourage you, and I would be very happy if you start on some type of entrepreneurial activity. Don't worry if it is a small activity. Don't worry, because all these companies, these P&G and all these companies we are talking about, they started very small, very small. I'm not making this up. You can just run a Google search and you will find how they started, how their forefathers started, and so what I'm trying to say is, start something of your own. Even if you are working, you work for some other company, start whatever little it is, and over a period of time. But the idea is start early. Don't wait. Right now is the right time. Just start something and see. You might not be successful, and no problem. You learned a lesson. That lesson is your success. And then you start something else. And maybe you will fail again. No problem. What is the problem in failing? There is no problem. But you keep on trying and then see if you are lucky and hardworking and things work out, something will happen. If nothing happens, no problem. No problem. You tried. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that entrepreneurship, this thing I think we need to encourage, especially in the new climate. There will be less and less jobs. Many jobs, many industries, especially if it is low skill job, it is going to be automated. If not today, tomorrow. If not tomorrow, in next 10 years, 20 years, depending on which country you are and which field you are. So yes, I'm not trying to say jobs are not good. Yes, there's in the starting, because you learn on job, you learn there and then you are. But I think some type of entrepreneurial activity, this is international trade. Yeah, this is international trade. Yeah, so you make something, whatever it is. Let's say what necklace, you make a necklace. Yeah, you make a necklace with some logo or something which you have designed. Yeah, and then you create a website and then you offer it to the world. If world wants it, you sell them. If they don't want it, no problem, you sell somewhere else. And then see, it's time consuming, it will take time, you should be passionate about it. But just just pitch your idea, see what happens. Collaborate with other shops. See, one friend mentioned for their video assignment that they are doing some collaboration with some country. They are thinking of some entrepreneurial activity. Yeah, so that is amazing. Yeah, why not? Think about that, please. Government policy, international trade. So yes, I think you should, if you are interested, you should do some study in this and then see uh, what is happening. So based on what we have discussed so far, just give make any point. It doesn't matter, there is no question, but the points you wanted to make, just make those points and let's see what is. Just try to fill in the missing links, try to fill in the things which I did not say, and they are important, and try to fill in the links which maybe other people did not say. Don't repeat the things which we already have mentioned in today's session or in the previous sessions. What we have said is said. Let's move forward and try to put in some new pointers in the discussion, please. Yes, it is your time now. Please go ahead. I hope you guys can hear me.
Okay, I'm number 6, but if no one's saying anything, then
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay. I would like to add on the example you gave with PepsiCo. In India, for example, they were not allowed to drill anymore because there was a problem with the groundwater, so there was no groundwater. And India banned them, so they were not able to drill anymore. But they found a solution, so they still sold the Pepsi over there, but production was not possible as it was before. And the same happened to Facebook, for example. Here in Europe, we had a problem with data protection law, and they did not ban it completely, but they found solutions. And what I wanted to say is that it's not always just banning, it's finding solutions, because in the long run, you can see it with China and US, there is no winner in banning something.
Yes, excellent. Please, guys, keep on going. I'm not going to interrupt. You're just going to make your point and move on. Teresa, Rene, Cross, Franz, what is happening, guys? Come on.
Oops, I'm sorry.
That's okay. No problem. No problem.
So I think it's really interesting to just see that and I think in the United States, there's actually a lot of young people that are starting businesses, and it's a lot of times it's about sustainability and sustainable clothing and sustainable makeup, for example, stuff like that. And they all like they're making it really individual, and I think that's, I don't know, it's just interesting to see.
Please read on this point of sustainable makeup. A lot of exciting things are happening. So this is a part of international trade. And other friend mentioned it is not just about law. It is finding solutions. Yeah. So that is very important. You're going to have problems and you're going to find solutions. But please continue. Anyone can speak. Don't worry about the line. We're going to take everyone. So don't worry about the line. Please speak.
Okay, so I wanted to add something to the example with the brand Barilla, which you made. So I read something like 2 days ago, like they have this small window on their noodle packaging, which is made out of plastic, and they decided to just let this out in the production due to sustainability. And this is just a simple thing, and they even save money with this if they don't do like this plastic thing anymore. And this also improved their image, and people were like, yeah, that's nice, it's so good for the environment, and it's just a simple thing to do. And I think that was really clever and a really good thing to do from them.
Yes, environmental sustainability is going big and big. Anything you can do on that is going to give a lot of appreciation. Yes, please go ahead. Next.
Yes, I was also a few months ago reading something about sustainability, and the article actually said that it's one of the most important factors for buying decisions, or is getting more and more important. I think it has changed now with the coronavirus, but I think that it will get more important afterwards again, and I think it's just important for every business to kind of develop a sustainability structure, and I think everybody should watch out for that.
I think in general, one big key takeaway for international business or businesses in general to be successful is appreciation. Like not only for your customers, for example, doing all the sustainability because you know your customers appreciate it and you appreciate the feedback you get from the customers, but also appreciate the people who are working for you so they are motivated and appreciate your business partners so they like doing trade with you. So that's a big point you have to consider when doing business.
Yes, I would also say flexibility is a huge issue for making businesses successful internationally because you have to be flexible for different laws, for different regulations, but also like for different, for example, policies. For example, I think many years taurine, like the main ingredient of Red Bull, was forbidden in the EU, so it couldn't be produced there. So Red Bull might need to think about something else they could put in their drinks. So that's what the issue is, and also like a lot of like cultural abilities. So for example, McDonald's cannot sell pork meat in Muslim countries, and I think McDonald's is also selling a lot of products with rice, for example, in Asian countries, which is not existent here in Germany. So that's why I think flexibility is key for international businesses.
Excellent. Thanks for this, Teresa. So McDonald, can you imagine that? And these type of business, not just McDonald, they are serving rice in certain markets, and in certain markets they have to serve halal food. She's talking about pork and that type of consumption. Uh, in some markets, they want to be sensitive towards the religious holidays and then offer certain type of meals on in those times. They are doing that. In certain markets, they want to change their taste a little bit to meet taste buds of that society. So that is again, very interesting. We will elaborate on that in international marketing section of international trade. That's very fascinating topic. And then this example which Teresa gave about Red Bull, that is very interesting. Red Bull is a case which definitely is worth studying. She is mentioning a thing, one of the ingredients which is banned. Actually, if you look at the history of Red Bull, you will find that this is how they started. So when they started, it had this type of vibe that some people died, and some people really did die because of consuming Red Bull. And what happened is that they mixed Red Bull with some other drinks, and that had a reaction, and they died because of that. And if you read the case studies published on Red Bull, you will find out that at that time, the 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 owners and those people who are in charge, they did not negate this thing. They did not say that you will not die when you consume. They said, we don't know, this drink is kind of that type of drink. It is a thriller drink. It is not like for everyone. So if you want thrill, it is. That's why they came up with this slogan: Red Bull gives you wings. So a human beings don't have wings, but if you want a wing, it is going to give you that. So that type of, so that is bad publicity. That is bad news that your product is not safe. But that they were okay with that type of marketing, and in the early days it gave them a lot of good growth in some markets. So what happened is that in the early days specifically, they were banned in certain countries, and in certain countries they were allowed. So that type of mystery about the brand that came in there, right? So that is how they. And now you see, how do they advertise? They go in extreme sports, they thrilling, adventure. That is how they mix it, uh, uh, and so on. If you read the label of Red Bull, I'm sure different markets they put it differently. In our market in Jamaica, I was reading it, and it says that students, professionals who have to focus and so on, they appreciate uh, Red Bull, drinking Red Bull, appreciate. Yeah. So it is just, they just said that they appreciate it. They did not say that it is going to improve your focus, it is going to do that and that, or not on the label, yeah, on the product. They say they appreciate it, and then that's it. So that's very interesting point. So thanks for all of those points. Next one, please go ahead.
I think what's really crucial for international businesses and how they can be successful is that they're diverse, because when they have a great diversity of employees, they can adapt easily to different cultures, and it also gives you advantages like communicational advantages when you have people that speak the same language and understand those nuances. So I think that's really important for international business.
Very good, excellent point.
Okay, if nobody else is talking, I want to add up on diversity. That's a very good point. I think that it's, important to have like people from different nations there and stuff like that, because I also think that they really experience the country. So it's not theoretical knowledge that they give you or that you have that you can Google and so on, but you've really lived there, and there are like small things that can change your business decisions. Like, for example, I think we've all heard about the business deal of Bayer buying Monsanto. And by the time Bayer bought it, there was already a legal claim against Monsanto that their products are cancerous. So it probably wasn't the smartest decision to buy it in the first place, but I was in America, and if they would have just gone to America, they would have seen that lawyers actively advertise, like they look for people that might have the same claims, which they might be able to lead back to Monsanto. In some way, it doesn't really matter. They just, they just want to make some money. And like, if I would have been there, they probably would have known that, it didn't stay at that one lawsuit. They would have known that there are many, many going on because like, lawyers are advertising for that. Hey, if you have any claims, come to us. We're gonna get you some money from Monsanto.
Yeah, both Franziska and Bianca, this diversification of portfolio, uh, understanding language, this diversification, very important point. Everyone, please make note of that. And then once it is diversified, as we were speaking in earlier discussion, then it is hard to beat, because it is just like, let's say that if you have 4 jobs, if you lose one job, yes, it is going to impact you, but not that much. Yeah. So, but if you have just one job and you are dependent on that, then it is a different ball game. It is just like that, diversification of portfolio, very important topic for international trade. Yes, please go ahead, guys.
I also think that making the international trade or business successful, you made the first impression very good in during maybe negotiation or like meeting with your partners. Yeah, like they can see your diversity and they can see you respect them, and yeah, maybe you speak their language a little bit and they would be thankful. Yeah, that's my point.
Oh, very interesting, Ryan. Respect. This word he's using, respect. This is very important word, respect. Uh, Ability to speak language, even if it is few words. Uh, uh, so even if your accent is wrong or whatever, the people appreciate it, I think. But you can decide for yourself. You can run an experiment. So if I have to say very good, I think I can say seher gut, sehr. So I'm pronouncing it seher, and gut, good, seher gut. Yeah. So people will appreciate it somewhere, that okay, well, he's trying or whatever. But in international trade, because you want to build some relationship with people, these small things uh, really make the difference. It increases likability, and more than likability, what it does is it creates shared values. Me and you are going to connect if we share something. If there is something which you feel and I also feel, the on the same way, shared. There is some, if something will be shared, if I will share something with you, our connection will be there. If I don't share anything with you, you spend your time in a different way and I spend my time in a different way, that connection will not happen. So when these international business managers will learn one or two or three phrases of that market in that language, they are just learning four or five phrases, but it creates a shared value in that. So that is very important. I think this is a good point. Yeah, please, guys, keep on going.
I want to add something to the point you just said, because I experienced it in the same way during my exchange semester in Taiwan. And there I had a course to learn Mandarin. And for sure, for Germans, it's very difficult to learn the Chinese characters. and yeah, how to communicate in that language. But I experienced that for the Taiwanese people, it wasn't really the matter of how well I tried to speak the language, but like that I even tried to learn, and maybe I just can say hello and bye and thank you, and that
Yeah.
that's what is mattering in the case. So
Yeah.
that you really show efforts to somehow try to learn something from their culture.
Yes, I would like to agree with Vera. I was in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam for my semester abroad, and all I can say in Vietnamese is hello and yes and no and thank you. And it really helped me a lot in these 6 months. And I actually didn't even need to be able to speak more, and you get so
Hello.
far just knowing some basic words.
Well, I totally agree with that, but I have an example against that actually, and this would be Hawaii. So in Hawaiian, you say aloha, mahalo, which means thank you. Aloha means hello, and like all the tourists that come here, come there, mostly American tourists, they try to say that to in stores and everything to I guess to, show them that they actually care about the culture and stuff like that. But all Hawaiians are just so, so, so annoyed by it. I don't know why they have in general a very negative image against Americans. So maybe that's also a reason why, but like they're trying to like speak a little of their language when they're in their state kind of in Hawaii, and they just hate it. Hawaiians just hate it when you do that. So yeah, that's an example against that.
Well, I think maybe that's not that nice of them, because obviously the tourists are trying to get in touch with them and to probably be nice. So I think it's a bit insensitive of the indigenous Hawaiians if they're against that. And I think that like the effort that tourists or foreign people make should be appreciated, because how would the Hawaiians feel if they were abroad and they would be greeted with that negativity? I don't think that's really justified.
Yeah, well, I'm totally your opinion. I'm just saying that's something when I was there, I went there for a semester. That's something I experienced. It was like, don't mention that at all in Hawaii. Just speak English. But yeah, I'm totally with you.
Yeah, but that is both points are interesting point. Bianca is just sharing with us that yes, you can do that, and I'm sure she also appreciate when someone would try to speak with her in her language or use some words. But she's just mentioning that there can be some cultures or some people when, because if you mispronounce someone's something, then they might not like it. It is just like people, if I mispronounce your name. So if I say Eckert, so I don't know if it is right or not. But if let's say that this is wrong. So if I pronounce in a wrong way, someone can take offense. Like Bianca can say, well, you don't even know how to pronounce my name. You should have asked me before taking my name. That if you don't know, you should ask and pronounce it rightly. On the other hand, maybe Bianca will say it's okay, no problem. You can say the way you are comfortable with. So this is just like different personalities. Same way, some places will not like that. But on the other hand, as our other friend is saying, that they should be open to that. Hawaiian should not be like that. They should not behave like that. So these are something which you would want to. Anyone else who want to say something, or I'm not seeing any raised hand. Only
But
Teresa.
Yes, I would also say, like, according to this point, that's why it is so important to have like a general culture understanding, to just know like what is okay in the country or not, what is not okay. So, for example, I think like in some Asian countries, you have to have kind of like you have to trust your business partner first, and then they are willing to start a business relationship and start negotiation with you. But in Germany, I think it's like we just want to cut down to the chase and start right from the beginning with the business talk. So that's why it is so important to have like a cultural understanding. And I think that goes like hand in hand with, in general, having the right people in your company in order to be internationally successful. So you might think about like being globally, but really acting locally, so to speak, like hiring a lot of people from the country you're doing business in, because they know the laws best, they know the culture best, and they probably click with their people best right from the beginning.
Yeah. That's an interesting line. We have read it various places. I'm sure you must have also this line which our friend used. Be
Yes.
global but act locally. That is interesting. So I think that sums it up. Yes, guys. Please wind up. So we'll take Lee and then we will take Ben.
Yeah, just one thing I wanted to add on the Hawaiian thing, because actually it's about that the tourists are coming and saying aloha but not acting aloha. So it's about that you cannot just say it and think that that's how you now belong to them, but it's like you really have to act to their rules. And when you come there and think that you are the boss and that you can decide about their land, then yeah, they don't treat you well. But that's what you also would do when people would come to Germany and be like, hello, I want to be your friend, but then they would punch you in the face. So it's about saying and acting, like act like you do.
I think it
Did you?
actually has also a lot to do with the history between Hawaii and America, but it's just really important to know that first before you come there, you know, because there's like always been like the takeover kind of way. So like Hawaii never wanted to be part of the US, but the US just kind of took it. So I think that's also where it comes from. But it's just important to know that.
Lee, when you said that if people come and say we want to be their friends, they will they will punch you on the face. You really meant it, or you are just saying that?
Yeah, no, it's like because the tourists, you know, there are parts where you should not go, because that's the part where only the locals are, and that's the only part they still have. And like you have to or you have to know a culture, and you have to not, like, as you said in the first lecture, some people think some stuff is a good sign, but at some cultures it's also a bad thing. And then I cannot just apply my rules of a thumbs up is a great thing and then just make everyone understand that I just mean good, but I have to adjust, and not them have to adjust to me because I'm the tourist and not the other way around. So yeah, I basically meant what I said. Like you could compare it with someone would say hello, but then punch you in the face. It's completely, you're saying something completely different as you act. So you should be careful what you're saying and then act according to that.
Yeah.
You don't always have to be careful about what you say. Sometimes feelings get hurt and it shouldn't matter.
Yes,
It,
but
it
when
should
you know,
it should not matter or should matter. Ben, I did not hear you.
Sometimes it shouldn't matter. And
Sometimes it should not matter.
if it's just minor feelings, you just need to get on with it. And maybe these people also should forgive people who had made their feelings hurt.
What a nice heart Ben has. Yes, but some people are not forgiving. But I get the sentiment. Very good point. Okay, let's move on. So I would want to talk. I would want to expose you to this topic: um, foreign direct foreign direct investment. So it is linked with what we have been talking about in today's session. So foreign direct investments. So they are very important for for any country, developed country or developing country, more for developing countries, as we have established in our discussion using different pointers, different examples. You would just have to pick them up in your own time. Why foreign direct investment is important. Foreign direct investment is important because when it will come, it will create jobs. So more people have jobs. Local businesses will not have to pay those companies. That international company will pay them also. So that money is coming in the market. That international company will giving them training, all those type of things which happen uh, on the job. They will get, local people will get more experience, and they will become an asset for the society. They will have better money or whatever buying power, so they would be able to buy products and re-inject that money in the market. Even if they are not getting any training or skill, they are getting experience, and experience is very important. And on the least level, more people will be employed in that market, in that country, because of international, because of foreign direct investment. And the more the people are employed in a company, that is a good sign, because there is less unemployment in that country. So the countries where there are less unemployment, there are links with other things. For example, there is maybe less crime because people are employed. Majority of the people are employed and they are going to their job and so on. So relatively speaking, it is a possibility, and some studies show this relationship, that the crime level is less when more people are employed in. So these things, when foreign direct investment will come in a country, it will bring in maybe technology, it will bring maybe equipment, it will bring their expertise in that field. It will bring it consumer choice will increase because more and more options are there. Yes. uh, it will increase the confidence in that country, because let's say if Procter and Gamble comes in Jamaica and they open up facility over here, it will be easier for other international businesses to bring in their 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 production houses in Jamaica, because they will think, oh, P&G is there, they must have done their homework. If they are there, must be a good decent market, maybe emerging, we don't know much about. So maybe they will just come and visit, visit a start of the thing, because to bring in the foreign direct investment, that can be a longer process, but things will be things will be a little bit put uh, in a positive light for that country, if I can use that word. So all these things are going to happen. Um Overall economy is going to improve as FDIs come in. So in which sense FDIs come in a country? It can be direct, it can be indirect, it can be the case where, please read into this, a brownfield investment and greenfield investment. Yeah, just Google search brownfield investment, greenfield investment. So both are investments. One is that you are starting from scratch, and in another one, there is already some facilities and you are buying them and then starting. So that is one way. Different ways to enter in a market as a foreign direct investment. For example, how do we were talking about McDonald's, KFC, and these type of things. How do they enter in international market? What is there? Maybe through franchising. Franchise, you buy a franchise of the. So that is one way of entering in the market as foreign direct investment. Alliances can happen, mergers and acquisitions can happen, uh, joint ventures can happen. All of these things can happen. But again, it is very much linked with the earlier discussions on, for example, government policies, on, for example, political and economic structure, on, for example, culture, and overall in the globalization scheme of things. A foreign direct investment is linked with all of those things, because you would be doing, country analysis as the other module of this course. I think it is international trade, and then it is market analysis or something like that, or whatever it is. So in that, you are looking at a market and trying to see, maybe country is good to go in, or what are the things which I should look at before I go in the country. We have discussed most of the things. One thing is coming in my mind, and that I think we did not touch it very clearly. That is, how is the customer, the consumer of that country? Is the consumer open to try new tastes, new flavors, or they have set their mind on something and they just keep on buying that? Some cultures are open, some cultures are rigid. So just like Bianca gave us example of Hawaii, and you can't do this and that and whatever. In other cultures, you can do that. Same way with this consumer choices. In some markets, consumers are very open. They are open to try different products. They are like always looking for new things. As a matter of fact, they go towards something new faster. On the other hand, there are some markets which take their time. They don't just buy the product as it comes, as it is launched as foreign direct investment or a new market entry. They take their time. They see when other people have bought it. They try to take customer reviews and all those type of things, and once that product has established, only then they buy it. So foreign direct investment is a very big decision for any company to decide that am I or should I go in some country or not. That is a very big question for the country. How competitive that country is. You want to look at that. I have chosen Ethiopia as a case from Africa, because Africa was kind of missing from our discussion so far. So I said, let me include that. But you can look at anything, any country, whichever you want, or the things which you will look in the other part of this course, other module, which you are doing with someone else. You can maybe use those cases also. This one now, please pay special attention to the following clip. Ask questions like how a company like Procter & Gamble, P&G, can make such mistakes. Yeah. So this clip is, which you are seeing on the screen, inside P&G growth factory. Based on what we have been discussing today, keeping that in your mind and other things which I'm sure you have in your mind. Watch this clip. This one is like 10 minutes, I think. And in this one, they explain you the guy who was involved in some of the projects with Procter & Gamble, and we just went through their website and how many brands they manage. They explain us what mistakes they made. And when you will hear the video, you will know that that is obvious. They should not have made those mistakes, but still they made those mistakes. Companies do make mistakes. That is the point I wanted to bring in this. But this one is linked with foreign direct investment, because they were going into other markets, and in going there, they made some mistakes. And then how they had to come out, and how they had to relaunch, and how they had to do all those type of things. This clip, you watch it and reflect on this, that why they did it. And if you were on their shoes, or if you had that job, how you could minimize those problems and so on. So I think this is a fascinating clip. In my face-to-face interaction, I do show this clip in the session, and then uh, we talk about it. All of us really talk and go deep in this. But I think we have done substantially in the overall conversation today. We build the pointers, and you guys have given many examples. It is just like our friend mentioned Nestle, and they made mistakes. So because I am fascinated by Procter & Gamble, so I have selected this. So please go into this. I've shared some information about FDI in Jamaica if you are interested. If you are not interested, that is perfectly fine. um, some readings are there, you can quickly scan through that. um, Reflect in your own time, like look around in your own market wherever you are. You will see that many of the products and services which you use and you enjoy and whatever, they are a result of foreign direct investment in some way or another. Some other company invested in your country, and over a period, the place where you are working, maybe you are working in an international type of company. Many of the companies in Germany, in that part of the world, are international in true sense. Many automotive companies, many retail stores, many banks, these type of places. If you are working, you will be able to relate with this, and then try to think what are the positives of. I gave you some positives, like for example, technology transfer, human resource improvement, availability of new products, and so on. Same way, there are some negatives of foreign direct investment also. Please reflect on those negatives also. For example, what can be some of the negatives for the local manufacturer, local entrepreneur, small business which is trying to make it locally? It can be hard for them, as I gave you example of those chocolates and bars in some earlier, in the last session or the session before, we spoke about that.
Can I share a point, please?
Please go ahead. Yes, please.
Yeah. Also, sometimes the foreign direct investments for small companies, it cancels the existence somehow of small and medium enterprises, mostly small enterprises. But like there's another advantage for FDIs, I guess, like the development of backward areas such as farms and agriculture. Whenever a big company enters a market, it requires too many resources, and this can give a boost for the agriculture. But for the other competitors operating in the same market, yes, it could make them like disappear from the market.
Excellent, excellent contribution. Thanks for that. Yes, so these are some of the challenges, and then for the new business, as our friend is explaining, that they are small. They are small. You can't do many things which an international business can do. Investment it needs. He's talking about agriculture, and nowadays a lot of technology is being used in various, how to spray the agriculture land, how to kill the insects. They are using drones. You can check up the YouTube on that. Drone technology and agriculture, for example, they are harvesting fruits and vegetable in house, like inside some area, not outside, not in the land. They are creating the land, and those type of things they are doing. They are mixing and matching different breeds. Yeah, so uh, of for example, they are combining different vegetables to create a new vegetable or fruits or something like that. uh, Human interface is decreasing, but not on a global level. We are only talking about countries which are a little bit advanced, and uh, who have access to this type of foreign direct investment, who are going to spend a lot of money in technology and those type of things in agriculture. But generally speaking, if you talk about the world, no, agriculture, people are still doing it with a traditional way, generally speaking, on the global map. But what we are trying to say, that over a period of time this is going to change. So if someone is into agriculture, for example, this is the time to look at that, how drones can maybe improve the harvesting or agriculture or whatever, those type of things. uh, Very good, very good point. So negatives can be for, new business growth, new business, how a new product will flourish if it is competing with a heavy FDI, a big international business trading in your country, and you are a small business owner. How you are going to? You would have to really differentiate your product, just like which the things you study in your marketing class, for example. How you are going to differentiate your product? So either you can differentiate by cost, so you might charge very less than the competition. You can maybe do that, or maybe by look. Your look is very different, or durability. Your product is more durable, you can maybe do that. And market segmentation, you can definitely do that. But generally speaking, I'm talking that it can be very hard, and this is where you are going to bring in and connect it with government policies, which we discussed earlier. So for example, protection, for example, barrier to entry, for example, more taxes for the international business coming in your country. A political the political leadership, or whoever is the leader, whoever is the leading, they will say, okay, you are coming in, but you will pay these taxes. You are coming in, these are the barriers on you, you will have to go through this. And on the other hand, a local person in the same business, they will say, don't worry about it, you don't have to pay taxes for next 2 years. No, we are giving you tax exemption. Yeah, you can look into this thing, tax exemption given by given to different industries, different sectors in different countries. In your own country, you can also look this up, and of course you will find something in the continent or the neighboring countries, or even in your own country, that there are some businesses for which government has lenient policy, so they can be saved against competing with the foreign direct investments, which are big. But again, it is difficult for them. But governments try to do that. Those governments which do not do that, which are unable to do that, and they don't protect their own growers, farmers. Our friend spoke about agriculture. Their own people, if they don't support them, then what happens that in the long run, the production capacity of that country just decreases and decreases and decreases and diminishes, because there was no support. You need some support, especially in the earlier part. Very difficult to do everything on your own. Just like in life, if you have a supportive family and they support you every now and then, life becomes easier for you, because you have to study, you have to manage your job, and you have to do other things, and you have to but if you are doing everything on your own, not that you will not survive, you will make it, and you might become successful after years and years of hard work. But it will be a little bit challenge. So same thing for the countries, and that is why government policy is exceptionally important area to look at in the context of international trade. And that is why they have a different segments. You see how they name the course, international trade, and I think market analysis, something like that. So what is that market analysis? This government interventions and government policies are, you would want to look at that. Definitely. So what happens is that I was saying that the countries which do not protect their local people, then more and more international business start taking over, and then there is a point where there is very less production, if any, and then you are dependent on international businesses. The more you are dependent on them, the the harder it will be to negotiate with them. So it is a vicious cycle. Once you go in this trap, it is very hard to come out of that. That is why you will see that a developing country, it is very hard for a developing country to change course and become developed country in a short amount of time. It is very hard. Even with the change of leadership, it is very hard, because they are in that cycle. Once you go, very hard to come out of that. Some countries are there which have done it. Singapore is a wonderful example. They've, like, just in last 40-50 years, but it's a short span of time, they have really done amazing things for themselves. Some countries in Gulf, they have done amazing things. So not saying that it is not possible, but they had a very different type of leadership, a very dedicated leadership, selfless leadership, uh, very different than maybe. I'm not trying to belittle any other country's leadership, but what I'm trying to say that it really takes a lot from the leader. Plus, the followers in that country, the people of that country, they were also willing to sacrifice. That is why it was. So for example, think about that. So if there is a foreign direct investment in your country and international product is available, let's say it is a chocolate, yeah, and then on the other hand there is a locally produced chocolate. So which one you going to buy? If you like the taste and whatever of the international product, you are going to demand that, because you're going to think, oh, I'm only buying one chocolate. It does not matter, just one chocolate. It is not going to impact my country. So you have to think about this. It is going to have a very big impact, because no one is willing to support an upcoming business whose chocolate is not at that level right now, because they are small, they are learning. Uh, we are like 60 people here. If all 60 of us are not willing to give up that international product which we like, and we decide we are looking for taste, and we are just looking at short run, how a small business in our country is going to grow. This is a big problem of developing countries. You can look and read more on this if you are interested, but this somehow makes up the point which I'm trying to say. Of course you are going to read the nitty gritties, read the book chapter, scan through it. I'm sure you're not going to read it line by line, but scan through it, look at the major heading, see what it is about, and get an overall understanding. Most importantly, you should do this exercise. You should look at countries which were able to attract a lot of foreign direct investment. You should look into this. Which countries are able to attract a lot of FDIs? Why is that? What is so different about that country? Is it that their political, is it their policies, the policies don't change with the change in the government? Because that is another problem in developing countries. In developing countries, policies are not consistent. One government comes, they have their own policy about that international trade, whatever that product and service is. Next one comes in, they bring in their own thing. International trade don't like this. They like consistency. They don't care who is the president and who is the prime minister and what is happening in the politics. They want their business to be secure. They are looking for long term. Yeah. So they don't like these. That is why they don't want to go in a market where these things can happen. That is why they would end up going in a developed country where things are more stable. So these things are linked. Yeah. So you would see the things we are talking about, you might find some of the things from globalization class, and you should be able to link them. And not just my course. Yes guys, not just my course. Whatever we are talking, we have been talking, or we will talk throughout this week, you need to link it with other courses which you do. You need to link this discussion with them. The things you observe, you need to link it. When you go in some shop and you see some product is giving discounts, you need to reflect on that. What is happening? What you just don't jump. Some products are giving sale, some products are not giving sale. What is happening in that? For some products there is a shortage right now in the international markets. Why is that happening? Some companies are managing these COVID times very nicely, and they do have some shortage but not too much. Yeah. So what are the things they are doing? So what I'm trying to say is that link it with various things, and then from all this information, develop your own thought about foreign direct investment, develop your own thought about political economy, all these things which we have been talking. These are just pointer. You need to develop your own thought based on the company and those type of things. I have added this global value chains. Yeah, this is, if you want, you can look into this global value chains. And some, this is some country evaluation and selection. How do you evaluate? And here and there are some postings and those type of things. You can look into that. Yes, please go ahead. Yeah, I think someone was trying to say something for a while. Please go ahead. And I see some people have raised hands. Please, if you want to add anything about FDI, please
Yeah,
add that.
I would like to give an example out of my experience. I worked for Bosch, and we tried for several years to enter the Chinese market because it's huge, and they have really high standards to enter this market. So you have to the production sites you are using have to be in Chinese hands and etc. So they're managing it really, really good, and this is like a perfect example how you can do it.
And you are talking about Bosch, that is the company.
Yeah, Bosch, exactly.
Very nice. Thanks for that, Sebastian. So with this, I'm concluding our today's session. Please look into these things, and thank you very much for your wonderful contribution to class discussion. Thank you.